It said if someone wants it, they should get it. CBS's Mark Strassman is at the CDC headquarters in Atlanta.
People who want access to a COVID-19 shot from a practical standpoint should still be able to get it just as they always have. Whether this conversation, these votes, sow more confusion is another matter.
Some former CDC employees gathered outside the building where the committee was meeting.
Under a banner that says CDC protects us all, about 24 former agency employees hold signs urging the committee to focus on the science surrounding vaccine recommendations. Katrina Kretzinger says she's concerned about the process happening inside.
If a standing recommendation without any new evidence is suddenly changed, the only thing that can really do is create confusion and sow doubt in the public.
Others here say they are afraid that politics is playing a role in the new vaccine policy. Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
During a freewheeling session with reporters in the Oval Office today, President Trump said his phone call with China's Xi Jinping will lead to a deal to keep TikTok operating in the U.S.
I think that it's a deal that's going to be great. And it's also controlled by very powerful and very substantial American people.
Trump spoke up for freedom of expression despite his threat to go after television networks that air criticisms of him and his policies.
I'm a very strong person for free speech.
The failure of a Senate bill that would have extended government funding past October 1st means it's now more likely than ever that the government will shut down.
The Senate's number 2 Republican, Senator John Barrasso, says it's very clear.
The Democrats are ready to shut down the government. Republicans want to keep it open.
But the Senate's top Democrat, Senator Chuck Schumer, says it's quite the opposite.
Republicans have now left town with no sign they want to avoid a shutdown in a week.
The bill would have funded the federal government for another 7 weeks, averting a possible shutdown on October 1st when the new fiscal year begins. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
The U.S. House today overwhelmingly passed a resolution honoring conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
95 Democrats voted yes, 58 voted no, 38 voted present, effectively abstaining. What's being billed as a unity rally is planned tonight at Utah Valley University in Utah, where Kirk was shot and killed.
I just love that they're doing that and having a place for everyone to have closure, in a sense, and have peace instead of violence.
All three major indices, the Dow, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, closed at record highs today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It is now a recovery mission after a military helicopter crash. That's coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Aaron, it's a busy Friday commute across the region between crashes. A lot of road work already starting, and folks going bananas at T-Mobile Park right now prior to the Savannah Bananas 7 o'clock game. In Marysville, South 5 at State Route 528, we've got a collision now blocking the 2 left lanes with 8 units on scene. So this leaves 1 lane open. You're backed up to the Outlet Mall. Marysville to Everett is up to 25 minutes. Everett to Marysville has jumped to 40 minutes. You're backed up from the Boeing Freeway into Marysville at the scene of this crash. And at Highway 2, this just turns into a parking lot. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both at 50 minutes. Linwood to Seattle is a 50-minute trip. Bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. Mercer Island, eastbound 90 and West Mercer Way. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking your left general purpose lane. You're backed up into the Mount Baker Tunnel. Seattle to Bellevue is at 20 minutes. Your right lane is closed at East Mercer Way for road work, and that gets underway tonight. And in Tacoma, we've got road work with us all the way through the afternoon into the evening. 2 right lanes are blocked westbound 16 on the Narrows Bridge. The Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed as well, and you're sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup all the way to I-5. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. Army says it now believes 4 soldiers died in a helicopter crash Wednesday night in Thurston County. Their Black Hawk went down in the woods near Summit Lake. Jacqueline Hill with U.S. Army Public Affairs confirms these were local service members.
These soldiers, they're assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment Airborne, and they were based at JBLM.
She says those soldiers are part of an elite aviation unit known as the Night Stalkers. Recovery efforts are still underway. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. A discovery in the mountains near Leavenworth may finally bring closure in the tragic murders of 3 little girls. Authorities believe they recovered the remains of Travis Decker, the man accused of killing his daughters nearly 4 months ago. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has more.
Sheriff Morrison telling us finding Decker was not an if, but a win.
We weren't going to give up, that we understood this could be in for the long haul. This search didn't work out. We would have been back next month doing another search. Our detectives have never lost faith.
And Morrison says they're waiting on WSP to test the DNA remains from that scene. That way they can know for sure who they found up on that mountain.
DNA results could come as soon as today. King County prosecutors have charged 2 brothers, aged 17 and 15, with second-degree assault and a hate crime in the beating of a transgender woman. Police say 2 others, a 16-year-old and 25-year-old man, tackled the victim at the Renton Transit Center Monday night, yelling slurs. She suffered broken bones to her face. The Mariners are in Houston this weekend with the chance to take charge in the American League West. Play-by-play man Aaron Goldsmith tells 710 Seattle Sports.
Obviously the biggest 3 games of the year for the Mariners, and something we've circled since spring training, man. And isn't it just so fitting that the Mariners have the exact same record as the Astros?
Mariners at Astros starts tonight 5:10. Winner of the series takes sole possession of first place in the division. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Another nice afternoon. Clear skies, highs in the mid-70s today. Tomorrow, more 70-degree weather, and then some showers return Saturday night into Sunday. Right now, 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Learn some economics.
I learned that in jail.
Wow. Wow, coming at you on that one. Just start with the John Curley Show. Diving in the news. I am a revered teacher, a private tutor, known as the James Bond of private tutors. Yeah, you ought to be ashamed, Dan. You ought to be ashamed. That is the beginning. That's how I'm considered one of the best in the world. Connecting adolescents, igniting academic passions, and inspiring students to achieve higher test scores. He is the James Bond of private tutors. Well, look at you, Mr. Bond. Here we meet again. Yeah. All right. By the way, Dan Lerman, I have to say something. I read your article 1 o'clock in the morning at Free Press. Big fan of Barry Weiss. God bless her and her new to be $100 million, whatever she's going to get. I loved this article because I love the way it started out and where it took me with just, I don't know how many words it took for you to put all this together, but you explored so many aspects of curiosity, the human desire to know things, and then what are the things that are in our way to stop us from really achieving higher education, through structured high school and college and things like that. And that's why I wanted to have you on, and I'm so grateful that you're here. The name of the article was The War on Knowledge. Who's waging this war, Dan?
John, first of all, I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for reaching out. This is what life's all about, these conversations. So thank you.
You're
it
welcome.
Seems like you've got a fun team. I love you guys.
Good.
Who's waging the war? That's a great question. I wonder if it's people who are afraid of inequity and measurement, because if education was truly about knowledge and quantifiable in certain ways, then it by definition creates inequity. And I wonder if people who are consciously or unconsciously afraid of that have a no knowledge agenda.
But there's no, life itself is not fair, and there's no equity in life, right? I mean, even twins have different IQ. The firstborn normally is smarter, right? So there's no way you can create equity.
I agree entirely. Down to our biology, there's a limp scarcity of resources. It's just the way of the universe. So I agree with what you just said, with no further modification.
Okay, so what it seems to me is there's the view of constricted and unconstricted. The view constricted, if you read Thomas Sowell, he talks about that certain people view us as fallen, broken species. Our nature needs to be controlled with institutions. And then you have unconstricted, which is sort of a Marxist view that man himself is perfectly fine and could do really well on his own. It would love one another as they love their own parents and everybody else. But it's the systems and the institutions that are the problem. So it seems like in modern education today, Dan, you have this unconstricted view that yes, there's inequities. And what we'll do is we'll just sort of smooth out the edges. We won't really grade anybody because we don't really want to hurt anybody's feelings. And then therefore, everyone will be equally, uneducated?
Yeah, there's a great short story by Kurt Vonnegut, one of my favorites of all time, called Harrison Bergeron. And the first line of that story, the year was 2048, and everybody was finally equal. And in the 4 or 5 page story, he kind of zooms out to reveal this world where the best and the brightest of humanity had to go around wearing heavy bags of sand and wearing clown noses. And I wonder if a version of that is happening to us now, with a very strong anti-test movement, the grade inflation. Did you know that in many places GPAs are now out of 5.0 and not 4.0? It's all kind of feeding the same trend that I think you're describing.
Did you know Michael Jordan was cut his first year of high school basketball? So if Michael Jordan had made the team because they didn't want to hurt his feelings, Michael Jordan would not have improved. But right after he got cut, he went home, cried for a couple of days or something, and then decided, no, while they're playing in games, while they are practicing, I'm going to practice. And Michael Jordan, at that point, decided, I'm going to be better than anybody else on that team. But if he had made the team, Dan, Michael Jordan would not be who Michael Jordan is, right?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And did you know I'm a huge basketball fan?
I know that because you're also like, 6'6" or something. I see you standing next to your wife. You make her look like a midget. Hey, so what do we do if the war on education is because people feel sorry for other people and we're grade inflating and we don't want anybody to know that they might not get these things? How does somebody win this battle back?
One thing, I don't have a definitive answer. I have a 3-year-old
Okay, goodbye,
daughter.
Dan. See you later. Goodbye. If you don't have a definitive answer. Nice to see you. Bye. There goes James Bond. No, go ahead.
I should just not. It's a waste of 6 words. I know our time is limited, so I'm sorry. I
Go ahead.
But, I have a 3-year-old daughter, second baby on the way. We're very excited and thinking about this. And I run this group of the top online tutors in the world. It's called the League of Exceptional Tutors. And one of the trends I'm seeing is a lot of people who are kind of free thinkers and noticing this trend. A lot of people are choosing to homeschool. And I don't know that that's the answer for us. I don't know if it's the answer for anyone, but I'm just noticing a lot more. When I was growing up, I'm 39 years old. When I was growing up, it was kind of a fringe thing. And now they're homeschooling conferences. They're big companies that kind of provide that school everyone's talking about, Alpha School out of Austin, where the kids spend 2 hours a day with AI learning and then spend the rest of the time on there. So I think rethinking what our time in schools really is spent doing is clearly a step in the right direction.
So if we, like Socrates didn't like the fact that things were written down on a piece of paper. He actually didn't like he didn't want words written down. He thought people would spend time reading as opposed to talking. We've come a long way, and now we've gone all the way around, and maybe people don't even read anymore. So we divide the marketplace into those that decide, well, there's nothing available for me in the market, so I'm going to homeschool, right? But then there's others that seems college as, well, I go in, I'll just take all these classes. I won't have to worry about a C or a D because they don't give those anymore. I'll hire Dan. He'll help my kid get into some college, and then I'll just use that, pedigree to get some job at some corporation somewhere. So you, Dan Lerman, are part of the problem.
Yeah, it's the evil James Bond. We need to rethink.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I sure understand that perspective. I sure understand it. I don't know that I have a good retort other than, in the free market, if I'm not doing it at a high level, someone else is. And perhaps the whole game is rotten. I hear your point.
Yeah. So then, and you see it, and, you got one kid, you got another baby coming, you got to feed these kids, and you have this skill set. And you're like, look, if you want to hire me to teach your kid to score well on these SATs, I can show them. Can you, without us paying you anything, what's the one tip that you give people to be like, okay, this is how, by the way, you should know, first time I took the SATs, so I'm 63, I scored combined 630, and then I cheated in my SATs later and scored 1220. So
nice.
Thank you. And then the Aptitude Testing Center in Princeton, New Jersey, sent me a nice little letter explaining in less than 2 paragraphs, as a matter of fact, that they would be sending this letter to every college that I applied to. So I didn't have much of a career, but
wow.
Yeah. So what's the tip that you give people when these people come in? Is it really that hard to beat these tests, Dan?
Yeah, they almost all standardized tests test 3 things. They test reading, grammar, and math. And the central one, the number one kind of barrier to crushing these tests is people are not elite readers. People are not elite readers. So basically, my entire tutoring career hinges on the idea that I can teach people to read at elite levels. And if you take a look at an SAT, they're available free on the internet. You can just Google SAT, and you're given little paragraphs of really high-level text. There's Shakespeare, there's poetry from the 1600s, there's scientific studies, and especially in today's society where attention spans are going down, people, I'm reading less than I used to because my attention is pulled in a lot of different directions. I think people are just not high-level readers. So the one tip, if you've got kids and you want them to go down this path and do really well at these tests, get them reading not just kind of fun Harry Potter stuff, stuff that's going to expand your mind with complex ideas, complex vocabulary, and that is kind of the grease that makes the wheels move.
I sent you an article that I discovered this morning, and I took, some great glee in the fact that you wrote back to Joe saying, "Oh, a friend of mine, I think at Harvard or whatever, sent me the exact same article." And it was basically trying to say that, yes, we're smarter if you look at the IQ tests in America. We're not getting dumber, but we're not reading as much as we were before. And perhaps the Flynn effect, which tested IQ, might actually be in reverse, and we might be getting dumber in a way.
Yeah, I consider myself in this life, John, a glass half full person.
Okay.
And I think a lot about how in many ways this is the best time ever to be alive. Steven Pinker wrote this book called Enlightenment Now, which by every measurable statistic, this is the best time ever to be alive. And one of the things I've thought about is this Flynn effect. And again, against our perceptions, it seems as if people are getting smarter by each generation. We're getting smarter and smarter. And that idea is called the Flynn effect. And it's been well established. The psychologist named James Flynn spent his entire career researching it. When I wrote the article in the Free Press, I mentioned that's like a seminal thought. It's like one way I alleviate a lot of the anxieties I have about this world. People are getting smarter. It doesn't seem like it. People are getting smarter. You very wisely wrote back, and another colleague of mine also wrote back, that this effect is actually in reverse. And I had heard ramblings of it, and I've read about it recently, and it's kind of disappointing because, the data's out, and by the same metric that we were getting smarter, we are now getting less smart. And what are the metrics of that? Well, the standard IQ test is called the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. It measures reading ability. It measures your ability to do math. It measures facts like who is the Chancellor of Germany. All of these questions are on IQ tests. And as a whole, we're getting worse at them. I don't know. Some people might say it doesn't matter. I think it's a reflection of the fact that we're spending our free time doing nonsense, myself included, just like on social media, rather than reading books, expanding our minds, having mind-expanding conversations.
And also the test of intelligence is the ability to adapt and to think of ways that you prior to the conflict or the problem that you have is a way to find a solution to that problem. So it's abstract thinking as well that needs to go into basic intelligence, understanding intelligence. It's not just knowing, what two countries have an X in their name.
You like that?
I do like that. Or who is the Chancellor of Germany. It's not just memorizing facts, but the ability to have the facts as a basis of knowledge and then use the basis of knowledge to say, well, here's another problem. This is something similar. Why don't I just go on ChatGPT to get the answer? And by going to that, you don't begin to form new, neural pathways that stimulate the brain to grow the brain.
Nailed it, John. Yeah. Oh, man. I have goosebumps. You nailed it. That's exactly right. And I think in any domain, intelligence is grounded in facts. Even for us to be able to have this conversation, John, we need to know the English language and know how to conjugate verbs, and those are objective facts. So this idea that facts are not important is kind of deeply offensive to me.
Yeah. But you've noticed in school, the kids don't know how to read. They don't know how to do math. Facts are not as important because they get in the way of, let's celebrate somebody's creativity. So, again, the question goes back to you, Dan, the James Bond of SAT and tutors, that how does somebody realize this is a problem, and then how does one address that problem and get us back to a basic respect for the rules of spelling? I before E except after C.
Nice one. Yeah. About that one. That's a really good one.
Thank you. By the way, Dan, I have stumped you on every question I've asked, so I don't know what the hell you're doing over there.
I'm a thoughtful person. I look up. Yeah, I know. These are really good questions, John. And the reason I'm taking a moment to answer is I don't want to come off as preaching that I've got the answer. I don't. So I really feel the need to qualify and try and give an answer that might be useful. I think one answer that might be useful is to get an objective measure of your actual reading level. And to get into, are you actually able to read and digest ideas? And if not, there are ways you can improve that rather than just ignore it and say reading isn't important anymore. I believe reading is a fundamental it's just an important part of how our brains evolved and how we communicate in our society. And I think people are getting worse at that.
Well, hopefully those that are trying to find some other source of education, whether it is a homeschool or a private school, whatever it is, that our human being, unquenchable thirst for knowledge will never be vanquished. And by the way, the answer is Merz. He's the German chancellor. It's Merz, by the way.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. I think right. I thought it was Angela Merkel, but she's long gone.
And by the way, Andrew or Nate, so Dan's, who is the James Bond of tutors, his question to you is, what two countries have an X in their name?
What was that?
Oh. Come on, Nate.
Xanadu.
Not a real place.
Oh, Andrew's looking it up.
I just don't know.
Dan, what's the answer?
Dan.
We've got Mexico and Luxembourg.
There you go. Wow. All right, go take care of the kid. God bless. The second one on the way. Thanks, Dan.
John, you are the man. Thank you.
Bye-bye. There he goes.
Xanadu's not real? Shoot.
It is a real place.
Oh, good.
We're going to go there later on. All right, here's Nate first. Checking traffic to Xanadu.
All right, John, it is busy out there in Marysville. Some good news. We cleared that collision South 5 and State Route 528, but you're backed up bumper to bumper into Arlington. A 6-mile backup here, Marysville to Everett. Still right around 20-25 minutes. Everett to Marysville, though, has gone up to 45 minutes. It's now solid from the Boeing Freeway all the way into Marysville. At 41st Street, this turns into a parking lot. Goes without saying now, drivers are heading over to northbound 529, and that route is now jam-packed from downtown Everett across the bridge into Marysville. Linwood to Seattle, 55 minutes, bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. This is the only backup, though, between Linwood and Seattle. Head over to 99, save yourself some time. Southbound 99 only has a brief backup as you approach the Aurora Bridge. Northbound 405 is thick in the south end between South Center and the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue's at a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour, 10 minutes. And we've got ongoing road work all the way through the day and through tomorrow night. It has 2 right lanes blocked westbound 16 on the Narrows Bridge. Your Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed as well. And you're backed up to I-5. Plan on a half hour to clear this backup. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
You know that feeling when your home finally feels organized? That's exactly what Closets by Design gave me. And let me tell you, it is a game changer and a marriage saver. If your closets are bursting at the seams, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. They don't design or use pre-made, predefined, standardized parts like many of their competitors, which can lead to designs that aren't truly maximizing your space. No, with Closets by Design, it's the highest grade products in the industry. Free in-home design consultation. Affordable luxury is the best way to put it. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. Locally owned, nationally trusted, you're getting the quality and the backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
RV buyers, don't miss the Northwest Fall RV Show at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. The last major RV event of the season with acres of new and used RVs to explore. New 2026 floor plans. 2025 model liquidation with savings up to 50%. New trailers as low as $12,995. Special event financing, free parking and admission. September 25th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. NWFallRVShow.com. That's NWFallRVShow.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service.
Really?
Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/21/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intra-line applied via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data and service series. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q1 to Q2 2025.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up
up for success. By working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit, the Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The federal government's new vaccine advisors are out with new recommendations for the COVID vaccine. They suggest you talk with your doctor before getting that shot. More from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Now the panel's not recommending it for anybody. Instead, leaving the decision up to individuals. In short, if you want it, you can get it.
For COVID-19, I think they have actually made it a little bit simpler.
But Dr. Helen Chu, a UW medicine physician who was among those fired from that panel earlier this year, says that could change. So she recommends getting your COVID and flu shots now and your RSV vaccine if you're eligible. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And the panel also narrowly voted not to require a prescription for the COVID vaccine. Seattle police responded to a deadly car versus pedestrian accident in the Beacon Hill neighborhood this morning. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more from that scene.
The accident happened just before 9:30. Investigators say an Enterprise rental box truck was traveling southbound on Beacon Avenue South when it struck the pedestrian at South Portland Street. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
Officers arrived and found a elderly female that had been struck by the vehicle, and unfortunately she was pronounced deceased at the scene.
Detective Pritchard says the driver stayed on scene, cooperated, was evaluated for impairment, and released. The investigation is ongoing. In Beacon Hill, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Today, a Pierce County court revised the sentence for former Seattle Supersonic Sean Kemp. He will now serve 1 day of confinement with credit for time already served after firing a gun at a car outside the Tacoma Mall last year.
I'm very apologetic for what I did.
He spoke before his sentencing last month. Kemp will still serve 30 days of home monitoring and complete 240 hours of community service. Washington's construction industry is facing a big labor shortage. New federal data shows our state lost more than 11,000 construction jobs over the past year. Only California and New York saw bigger losses. Recent survey finds 92% of construction firms are struggling to hire. Nearly half have had to delay projects. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. We're checking in with Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Subaru of Puyallup has our check. Marysville, South 5, you've got a 6-mile thick backup from State Route 531 in Arlington all the way down to 528 from an earlier crash. Marysville to Everett's taken you about 15 minutes. This is an improvement as we start to pick up speed here. Everett to Marysville, though, continues to climb. We're at 50 minutes. You're bumper to bumper now from the Boeing Freeway to 529. Northbound 529 across the Snohomish River Bridge is also packed, and we've got backup starting in downtown Everett. Linwood to Seattle, 55 minutes with bumper-to-bumper volumes from Northgate to I-90. Eastbound 90 is packed from I-5 here in Seattle all the way to the East Channel Bridge, where crews are prepping for tonight's road work. That means the right lane is already closed as you approach East Mercer Way, so this backup will just continue to get worse before this afternoon drive comes to an end. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes, and westbound 16 in Tacoma is packed from I-5 all the way out to the Narrows Bridge due to road work. This is overnight work all the way into 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Your backup, it planned on a half hour to clear this backup. Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Nice afternoon today. Tomorrow looks mostly nice, and then rain should return by Saturday night, continuing into Sunday. Right now, 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. For heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric, it's Home Comfort Alliance. Home Comfort Alliance. There we go. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. There you go. Electrical. Jump in here. Heating, cooling, electric. There you go. Nice. Nicely done, baby. We had a dark, nasty segment. It was going to go into a big thing, get people all pissed off and write in. And then Joe pulled an audible, said, I have an idea. Let's bring Jacob in. It's like, hold on. We want ratings, right? We need people to listen. But then when I found out, it says here that, well, I won't say what he's doing, but here, I'll just give you a little hint here. This is Evening Magazine. Kim Holcomb went to one of these places. This is in Lake City. This is back in 2017. So you're really right on top of the trend, Jacob.
This is Reach Industry.
You come in here to smash stuff.
You come in here to smash stuff. It's a lot of stress relief. It's satisfying, all of those things. There's like a variety of things you can pick, like toilets, TVs, printers, bottles, and then you pick out your weapon.
You could do that here at Bonneville without paying anything.
We have like bats, sledgehammers, crowbars, pans even, and then you use those weapons to hit the items.
How did you even come up with this idea?
Okay, Kim, we've got it. So you go into a room with a bunch of stuff. They give you a hammer, they give you goggles, and they give you a helmet, and then you go in there and just smash stuff.
That's right. I guess I've not done it. This will be my first time.
I know very little about it, other than the fact that you'd be the worst person to have in there.
Why do you say that?
Because you're not a violent guy. You don't seem to have a lot of internal rage that would need to be, brought out on an old printer.
I don't know what it is. What happened was Sean and I were just at the
Sean, I could see busting stuff.
Yeah, this is our coworker Sean Torrey. One time, bored up of this time slot actually. Yeah, I don't know. I was describing something. It's embarrassing because I don't remember what that had made me particularly angry. And Sean had
probably had something to do with John.
No.
See, it's not it. It's even dumber than something that John made me angry about, which doesn't happen terribly often either.
Okay.
I think it was. I don't know if this is relatable to you at all, John, or normal for someone of my age. I'm.
I used to take 10 years off your life all the time. Because I wanted you to date Charlie, my daughter.
Oh, that's
And she's
right.
like, Jacob is so cute. How old is he? How old are you? She's 22. He's 25.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge compliment, by the way.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
But then I found out, I'm like, what's this gross old man doing with my daughter? I found out he's like, how old are you?
To be clear, I had no idea any of this was going on.
You're
I am
gross.
32 now.
Oh, my God. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Now I look at you like, get away, perv man.
Somebody arrest this
Give
man.
me something to break. All right.
Get in the rage
So
room.
back to your weird neurological problems that you're going to go into this room, but are you walking in with a lot of rage?
We didn't hear the why.
Oh, why? Yeah,
I guess stuff keeps do you know something goes wrong and then you think you fix it and then the same thing goes wrong 5 years later and you're like, I thought we dealt with this.
Are we talking about your voice cracking?
Okay. We were past that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that there's some I'm old enough now to where things I thought that had been solved are now becoming problems again, and there's something about the fact that they're repeating really does make me angrier than I used to get.
So you're going to go into a room and wreak havoc because something that happened 5 years ago.
Well, no, because it happened again.
Oh, right. It's happening
That's
again.
right, yes.
Okay, all right. Is it a rash? Is it something internally that you're working?
Again, John, the more questions, the more boring this will become. I got upset that they updated all the computers at work, and then the computers didn't work good. And this happened the last time they updated the computers, and it blows my mind that they seem perplexed every time they do this.
This upsets you too, John.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to turn the thing on. I make you do all that
Yeah,
sort of
when
stuff.
you try, you get very angry.
Well, only because I know, and the people that run all the tech stuff know that I'm not really tech savvy.
Yeah.
So I didn't find out when they replaced all the computers that they kept mine there for like 2 years because he never uses it. So when the one guy, the new tech guy they hired goes, let me see what's going on here. What the hell? This thing is so old. What is this? Where's this thing from? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, whoa, you should have gotten a new one like 2 years ago. I don't even know. Where do you disconnect this thing from? And then I found out I'm like the redheaded stepchild when it comes to the tech stuff.
You still had a steam-powered computer somehow.
Yeah, and I'm like, we're out of coal. I need more coal. Why isn't anybody else pouring coal into their machine? It's like, that's one way to stop me getting online. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. And then when then they do the thing like, have you gone upstairs and taken the course on how to answer the phone? I'm like, I'm not answering the phone. It rang. It hardly ever rings, but when it does ring, I just go, excuse me, I'm going to try to transfer you. If I lose you, please call back. And I give the other number. And then I just hang up on them.
Well, I guess I could ask for some advice because you get to choose your
weapon.
Yeah. Baseball bat, sledgehammer, or golf club. I feel like it depends on what kind of golf club. I'm not a golfer, so I think I'm going to pass on the golf club.
Well, they also said toilets are an option, which to me, that would...
No, you don't get that.
She said that in the video. That
I think you can smash a toilet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that I would want to smash a toilet, but it seems like they're probably expensive. You might have to pay extra for toilets.
Maybe more for a toilet, yeah.
Bring your own and use the toilet to smash other things. Don't go with a golf club. You want to go with whatever it is that's the heaviest thing that's not going to break on you.
Maybe sledgehammer or baseball bat.
By the way, I looked it up to see, does it do any good? The answer is no. In fact, what they say is all it does is teach your brain to react to anger with violence. So you're actually creating neural pathways to say, oh, I'm going to get upset about something, so I'm going to smash something.
No, and my therapist tells me when I'm talking about anger that anger's like a top level emotion and there's always something underneath it and you want to figure out what that thing is. But then smashing doesn't, I think, help you figure that out at all. But I think it will be fun. Well, because it's something to do with my friend Sean.
Take some video for us.
How about bowling?
I could consume maybe next time.
Here's some music that I figure you'd be in there listening to while you're in there.
You get to choose your own music.
Yeah, something like this I would suggest for you. And you're like... Let us know how it goes.
I will. No pregnant women. If someone's hearing this thinking about doing it themselves, that's one of the only rules.
All right, fine.
When are you going?
Maybe this weekend. We'll see.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you, Jacob. Good luck with those computers. Here's Nate taking a look at traffic for us. Nate,
thanks, John. Kia of Everett has the update. Marysville is struggling this afternoon. Southbound I-5, you've got a 6-mile backup starting near State Route 531 in Arlington down to 528 from an earlier crash. Arlington to Everett is up to 1 hour. That's a 45-minute delay. Everett to Marysville, 50 minutes, bumper to bumper from the Boeing Freeway up to 529. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes. Your only backup is a really tough one from Northgate to I-90. North 5 heavy from Mid-Boeing Field into downtown Seattle. Eastbound 90 packed from Seattle over to the East Channel Bridge. Seattle to Bellevue will take you 20 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute commute. And Tacoma to Olympia right around an hour and 5 minutes. Thinking of a Kia EV? You better act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike Macdonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike Macdonald Preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
One of the greatest bands in rock history, The Who, present The Song Is Over, the North American Farewell Tour. See Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, The Who, live in Seattle, performing at Climate Pledge Arena September 25th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The Who, for the very last time. The song is over. For more, visit thewho.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev. What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
How are those letters for Teeny coming in at 1-888-973-5476?
They're coming in.
There you go. They're good. They're coming in. Thanks, Joe, for that. And again, it's KIRO Radio. Mr. President, what are the call numbers again?
97.3.
There you go. All right. We're milking that one. Township meeting. This is in Cecil, Pennsylvania. Was a meeting where the city would be shutting down the local motocross track where they race dirt bikes because noise complaints about the bikes. So then a local motorcyclist had to voice his concerns.
I really just came up here to say that.
Sorry, real quick. We just need your name and your address for the record, please.
I just came up here to say that.
Whoa. Name and address. Where are you?
I'm sorry. I need you to state.
You're either going to hear them where they're allowed to be. Stop
it. You need to state your name
where they're not
and
allowed
address.
to be.
Okay. You need to.
That's not bad. Was that a 250? Is that a 250, you think?
I don't know, but it's a two-stroke, that's for sure. Oh, yeah.
No. Can you do a better one than this guy? Yes.
Ring, ding, 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 ring, ding, 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 ding.
Nate, what do you got? What do you got, Nate? What's that?
I got nothing.
You got nothing on that? What do you think? Is that banging sound? Is that is that the master cylinder?
Yes.
Hear that clicking? That could be a problem. That could be the chain.
Starts running around the chambers.
Now he's running around?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's the goat part that's making that noise.
Next, please.
Next. This man accused city officials of being an alien, and then the dirt bike guy came back.
Hello, board. I am a U.S. taxpayer.
Oh, boy, this guy. Yeah, I'm also a sovereign citizen.
I think you're all government leeches. You should step down.
Okay, yeah.
And this lady, she's an alien. Look at the way she looks.
All right. Is that it for public comment? Anyone else?
Shut down.
He's going to burn out that clutch. How much longer is he going
If
for?
there's further disruption, we're going to have to ask you to leave. It's still a disruption to folks in here. We're in the process of doing that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So as soon as it starts, we're going to ask for some chill in the audience here. Now you could take that part of it outside, but we're going to reconvene here.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Yeah, you can't
Aye.
take the heat.
They've had
You
it.
can't take the exhaust. I can't tell. Is that guy in favor of motorbikes or not? I don't know why. I've lost control.
I
think a motion we move to adjourn.
They voted against the motor cars.
Shocking. I thought the guy did a great job advocating for it. There you go. Dude, I thought you'd be all over the two-stroke on that one.
Yeah,
no?
that's the one thing I just can't.
That.
Yeah, I'm above that.
You are above that. All right, here's Nate over there taking a look at traffic.
All right, it is so busy this afternoon. Just know that all of our typical backups are in place. No one's catching a break today. Here are some of the unusual backups. South 5 heading into Marysville has a 4-mile bumper-to-bumper backup from State Route 531 in Arlington down to the Outlet Mall. From there, it thins out, but it's still pretty crowded down to 528. So Arlington to Everett right now is down to a 55-minute drive, still a 35-minute delay. Everett to Marysville has improved to just 40 minutes, but it is still thick from the Boeing Freeway all the way to 529. Don't even consider heading over to 529 right now because over the Snohomish River, that route is all backed up. In fact, backed up all the way in the downtown Everett. Eastbound 90 is packed from Rainier Avenue to the East Channel Bridge. Seattle to Bellevue is up to a half hour. Federal Way, we've got a new crash, South 5 and South 320th. It's blocking your right lane as well as part of the on-ramp where we have a rollover crash up the hill there. Left the road. Tacoma to Olympia, just over an hour. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99, plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hitting it. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan dropping back to pass in the end zone to Largent. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every throw. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
CDC advisory panel votes against COVID vaccination for adults.
12 yes, 0 no, and 0 abstain.
President Trump on TV networks criticism.
That's no longer free speech, that's no longer anything, that's just cheating.
Violence outside Chicago area ICE facility.
ICE agents started to shoot off those pepper bullets.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A CDC advisory committee recommends keeping the COVID-19 vaccine prescription-free and has voted against recommending the vaccine for all adults, instead leaving it up to individuals. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
You can walk into a retail pharmacy and request a COVID vaccine. You may just need to have a conversation with the pharmacist before you receive it.
Growing backlash over the Jimmy Kimmel Live suspension after comments Kimmel made on Monday in connection with the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Other late-night show hosts rallied to support him last night, and today, a protest in New York City. President Trump has suggested that maybe broadcasters' licenses should be pulled over bad publicity, saying it's up to FCC Chairman Brendan Carr. On the podcast Verdict with Ted Cruz, the Republican senator suggested that Carr's comments about doing things the easy way or the hard way sounds like something out of the movie Goodfellas, adding,
if the government gets in the business of saying,
what you
we
can and can't
like
say,
what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like. That will end up bad for conservatives.
President Trump's response?
I think Brendan Carr is a great American patriot, so I disagree with Ted Cruz on that.
Thousands are expected to attend a memorial service for Charlie Kirk at a stadium in Glendale, Arizona on Sunday. CBS's Andres Gutierrez reports.
Security is expected to be extremely tight. The Department of Homeland Security has classified the memorial as a level 1 security event. It's the same level of protection as the Super Bowl. It means that local, state, and federal law enforcement are all coordinating security. Those going should expect airport-style screening and a strict no-bag policy.
In West suburban Chicago, protesters tried to block vehicles at an ICE facility, and it turned violent. CBS News Chicago's Darius Johnson was in the thick of it.
They are plowing through the protesters right here at this vehicle. They've tried to deploy everything that they could as these protesters were trying to block agents out. They have another man. They are just deploying anything that they can to try to get the protesters out of the way.
Multiple arrests reported. Now this.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Human remains found near Leavenworth. Could they belong to Travis Decker? That's coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
In Federal Way, South 5 and South 320th, we're dealing with a rollover crash. It's off to the right shoulder, but it's blocking the very end of your on-ramp as well as the right lane of the main line. So this is causing an early merger, and traffic is a standstill at the scene. Seattle to Federal Way is at 40 minutes right now. In Tacoma, westbound 16, you're bumper to bumper from I-5 all the way over to the Narrows Mills Bridge, where road work blocks 2 right lanes. The on-ramp from Jackson Avenue is also blocked. This work is scheduled through 10 p.m. tomorrow night for expansion joint repairs. Plan on about a half hour to make your way through this backup. Southbound 167 all jammed up from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Northbound 405 in the south end is packed from South Center to the Renton Landing. Eastbound 90 heavy from Rainier Avenue out to the East Channel Bridge. Your right lane is blocked near East Mercer Way as crews prep for tonight's road work on the East Channel Bridge. Seattle to Bellevue is going to take you a half hour. And Arlington to Everett slowly improving. We're down to 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Law enforcement teams are back in the mountains near Leavenworth today. It is where authorities believe they found the remains of Travis Decker, the man accused of murdering his 3 daughters nearly 4 months ago. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports from the Incidents Command Post.
I've been speaking with Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison. He tells me WSP has the remains for DNA processing, but they're still collecting other evidence off the mountain today.
The remains were found earlier this week on Grindstone Mountain. That's just a few miles from where the girls' bodies were found. The Army now confirms 4 soldiers based at Joint Base Lewis McChord likely died when their helicopter crashed about 20 miles west of Olympia. More from KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch.
The soldiers were assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment at JBLM.
Also known as the Night Stalkers, and they are one of the Army's most elite aviation units.
Jacqueline Hill with Public Affairs. Their Black Hawk helicopter crashed at night in heavily wooded hills. Efforts are underway to determine the cause of what the military calls a mishap and recover the 4 soldiers' remains.
And their sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
King County prosecutors have charged 2 brothers aged 17 and 15 with second-degree assault and a hate crime in the beating of a transgender woman in Renton on Monday. They pleaded not guilty in court today. 2 more people have been arrested in the case. More than 2 weeks of road work now underway on eastbound I-90, slowing you down between Mercer Island and Bellevue. KIRO 7 TV's Renji Sinha reports crews are repairing an expansion joint on the East Channel Bridge.
From now until October 5th, yes, I said October 5th, crews are going to be working on eastbound I-90. WashDOT says the roadway will be cut to 3 lanes with reduced speeds between Island Crest Way and Mercer Island to Bellevue Way. So that's the stretch where you're going to feel the impact.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We will be dry for most of tomorrow, rainy and breezy late tomorrow night, along with some haze, and then mostly dry by Sunday nights. Right now, 73 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Made a really good bagel breakfast sandwich over the weekend. It was scrambled with some Beecher's cheese, bacon, and avocado, and cream cheese. Very filling.
When Aaron starts talking about food,
my favorite part of the
Me too.
You know, it's a good day.
Oh, because the Mariners. Oh, here we go. No, we don't have time for you. Diving in. Okay, got it. All right, Brian Hayward is at it again from Let's Go Washington. Boy, you just don't give up, do you? Joining us, where are you right now, Brian?
I'm in Kamakura, Japan.
Arigato.
Domo, arigato.
Okay, no MSG. Okay, so Let's Go Washington. So what's the batting average for the initiatives, the referendums? Where are we on the big score? You spend the money, you get the signatures, then it goes to the machine in Olympia. Where are we on the Let's Go Washington record?
We're as good as Rod Carew or better. We've got 4 out of 7. So I'd say we're batting over 500%.
All right.
Or over 500, I guess.
You're at it again. You listen to the news. It seems a little slanted in a particular direction. I don't need to go into that. But what's the latest? And what are the signatures? And what are you looking for, Brian?
So we're 2 quick initiatives. One is to restore 2081, which is the initiative that gave parents the right to know what's going on in the school with their kids. And the second initiative is to protect fairness in girls' sports. and we've got to get 300 and probably about 390,000 signatures by the end of December, by January 2nd. And then these initiatives would go to the legislature, like the ones that we did in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And then the legislature can choose to pass them, ignore them, and send them on to the voters, or try to do some competing thing with them.
Okay.
And this would happen in January, and it would go, if they ignore it, it goes on the ballot next November in 26.
Okay, so you've got two. Which one do you want to get into first? Do you want to do Parents' Bill of Rights, which they really did a number on the last time, or do you want to do the idea of protecting sports for girls to compete against girls?
Let's go with parents, because I think this one's more messy and more complex. The other one's pretty straightforward.
Okay. So you got the signatures. It went to Olympia. And then the process got a little mucky because the Democrats were like, hey, we're just going to clean this stuff up a little bit. We're going to make it just a little neater because it was just sort of sloppy. And we're going to get in there and take this thing apart. And when they put it back together again, it was like, what is that? I mean, I don't know what they were trying to do, but they got it done. And the backlash from the people, the 460-some thousand people that would say, no, I'm one, I'm parent, I'm first. You guys are second to everything else. I want to know, is my kid talking to you about getting gender affirming care? Has my kid changed their pronouns? I need to know. You can't keep me in the dark. You can't take my kid off of campus and not tell me what's happening. I need to be in this. In fact, I'm number one. The rest of you take a second seat to me because I'm the parent. That was seen. Most people are like, well, that makes perfect sense. It goes to Olympia. What happens to it at that point, Brian?
Well, so when we sent it to Olympia in January, in 24, right, we sent it to Olympia, and the legislature looked at it, and at first they said, oh, we're not going to touch this, we're not even going to look at it. And then they did polling, and they found out exactly what you said. People were not happy with the situation, and so their polling told them we better pass this. And in Olympia in 2024, overwhelmingly with huge bipartisan support, 2081 passed. And it essentially gave parents the right to know what's going on with their kids. That's the big piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did it sort of with a wink to their radical base, and waited until January of this year in 2025, and then they did three really terrible things. And they created a Frankenstein bill. The first thing they did, of course, was they gutted any of the parental notification pieces. And you'll find that They say this lie. I've heard the legislators say, "Oh, we really want to enhance communication with parents," but there was an amendment proposed on 1296. 1296 is the bill that gutted this thing. There was an amendment that was proposed that said if your child is sexually assaulted by a school employee, the school has to notify you immediately. And on a voice vote, all the Democrats voted against that amendment on the initial pass. That tells you a lot about what their agenda is.
Right, and I think, didn't they ask for like 48 hours or something like that after a police investigation would be done? They wanted to internally investigate the charges before telling the parents.
And then it was like, well, once the police have determined a crime was committed, that could be weeks or months or whatever, right? They play these word games, and what they ended up doing, though, even was a word game, because they said, well, okay, because there was so much brouhaha that people are not happy, they said, okay, we'll accept immediately. But in Washington state law, immediately means within 48 hours.
Yeah.
So your child could come home, has had some horrific thing happen to them at school, and the school doesn't have to notify you for 2 days. And you can't figure out why your kid's really depressed and moody, right? I mean, and I think this is a rare thing, but I don't really care. It's not the school's choice to tell or not tell you.
Okay, so I mean, isn't it shocking that you would stand up there in the hallowed halls of Olympia and say, yeah, I think it's a good idea that we hold this information back from the parent?
We're living in a parallel universe. Like it's the Olympia Spider-Verse or something that we've stumbled into.
Okay.
And the next two things this one is even worse than that, though, with this bill, because they did something that I think is patently illegal. They log-rolled the law itself. They added on at the very end, they added two additional laws that had been rejected in other sessions. They log-rolled them onto this bill. That means they glommed it on. And those two bills do two specific things. The first one puts an onerous burden on parents to sue or have a day in court if the school or the school system does something egregious to their child. They pay all kinds of hurdles, and of course the process is the punishment, but it'll intimidate parents from making a claim. It'll take so long that your kid will be graduated by the time you get some compensation or just redress. It's designed to sort of scare parents because nobody wants to play fighting the school with a lawsuit, right? That's just not a happy place if you're in that. So it'll take months, maybe years for you to get redressed before you ever get before a court. So that's the first thing. The second thing they did in this terrible bill. And then the third thing they did is they gave Chris Reichdahl, the OSPI, they gave him, as OSPI, sort of this carte blanche authority to withhold up to 20% of a local school's budget from the state. They can withhold it if that school or the school district is not complying with the edicts of the OSPI. So if you go on the OSPI and you look at some of their curriculum material and you say, whoa, I don't think this should be in our school district, and the school district says, well, we're not going to teach that, the OSPI can then punish the school district for withholding kindergarten material that talks about kindergartners should be able to identify more than two genders.
Right. So what they do, basically, giving Chris Reichdahl the power to supersede the elected school board. So the school board sits there neutered when the voters said, yeah, I want this person and this person. I want these people on the school board because they're going to be the ones that are going to protect my kids, educate my kids, care about my kids. I'm going to give you that right. And then you have Chris Reichdahl coming in and saying, no, none of you, even though you were elected, we're going over top of you, and we're going to tell you what can be taught in the school.
That's right. And if you don't, we'll punish you by destroying your budget 20%. And I think that some of the irony here is just you've got Washington. When I moved here in 2010, one of the really attractive things about Washington State was that the schools were top in the nation. I mean, our schools excelled. We had great teachers, great schools. And I still think we have a lot of really great people in the system, but our ranking has plummeted. In some ways, we're behind Mississippi. And that's been under this, 40 years of one-party rule, and especially 8 years of Chris Reichdahl. But we're giving that guy the authority who has just destroyed our school systems to make it worse. And it's unbelievable.
Okay, so that's trying to get the chunks of crap that they attach to the Parents' Bill of Rights to take apart the Frankenstein thing and then to have it go forward. When people sign this thing, Brian, what are they going to try to get done this time? How can you make this thing bulletproof?
I don't know. With an initiative, I don't think there's a way to make it bulletproof. But what we're doing is, in the whole, our initiative basically takes 1296 and completely deletes it and says the law gets restored back to 2081. And I know there's people that say, well, they're just going to play this game again. But I would encourage people that you have to fight. Part of the reason I'm doing this again is we often think if we don't get what we want the first time, damn it, I'm going to take my ball and go home. And that's not how the other side plays. They go chip by chip by chip by chip. And after 10 years, you're strangled. And so this is first, it's a fist gut punch back saying, you guys try to play this game, but we're hitting you back. We're going to delete the thing that you just did and force them to do it again. And maybe they will, but we'll hit them again.
Okay, and quickly, with the time we have remaining, you're there in Japan, and we appreciate the call. The other part, is it a separate initiative which basically says girls compete against girls, boys compete against boys in the state of Washington?
That's correct. It's a fairness in girls' sports. And this one does something really, really simple. The current state law says that any student that wants to play in a sport has to get a physical. And the current law already requires that physical, by their physician, identify them as a boy or a girl. All our initiative does is says you have to take that physical that you got from your physician and present that in order to play in the gendered sport that you're trying to play in. So if you're a biological boy, you can play in biological boy sports. If you're a biological girl, you play in biological girl sports.
But you see where you're going to run into a law because so in January 2006, after more than 30 years of attempting, the Senate did pass the engrossed substitute Senate Bill 5346, which identifies sex and gender identity as a protected class. So then you'd have Chris Reichdahl, suddenly appearing and saying,
greetings.
I'm Chris Rakedahl. He would then say, well, you can't discriminate. If this boy thinks he's a girl, then therefore we have to respect that. We can't discriminate against, and that boy has to go on and compete against that girl and beat that girl by 5 seconds or something. So you're going to run into the law on this one, Brian.
But what this one does is it changes the law that says in sports itself, what determines it is what the doctor says is the gender. And the argument could be, well, your doctor might play games. And that's totally true. That's possible. But again, I don't, with the initiative, I can't make anything ironclad. I have to hit them back with a jab and a punch to sort of poke them and push them back and give common sense a chance to actually have a movement in the state. And that's what our tactic is here.
You're a smart businessman. You've sat down across from people that want something and you want something, and you have to come to sort of agreement in order to get the business to move forward. So what would you say to somebody who says, well, my girl, who is a boy, wants to compete. Where can he compete now, or where can she compete now? What would you give?
So that's actually a really important point. They can completely compete in boy sports. And they're trying to make this like, oh, I'm trying to ban trans athletes from competing. No, there's no ban whatsoever. It just says if you're a girl, you can play in girl sports. If you're a boy, you can play in boy sports. If they wanted to create, and I wouldn't have any problem with this, create a third category, create a trans athlete category that competes. That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that.
You're ostracizing these individuals because you're making their trans thing more important than their identity. They are a girl. They think they're a girl. They want to compete against other girls because they believe they're a girl. And by having them run in a trans, it would almost put them in sort of a category that feels it's not real. It's artificial. Because why do I need to compete there? Because I am a girl and I should compete against other girls. I've grown my hair long. And I identify. I have a female name. This is kind of the thing that you're gonna get into the weeds on this one, Brian.
It is, and they've already started saying that. But I think what gets neglected and glossed over is there's 120,000 female athletes in this state who are punished by this stupid ideology. And, not every single boy is going to be a top-of-the-tier athlete. And that's true. Not every single biological male that competes in girls' sports is going to be on the top of the podium. But when they do, what's really clear from what's already happened is they don't just win by a nose. They shatter, they destroy girls' records. They win the 400 not by a nose, not by a foot, but by 20 meters. When they do weightlifting, they break the records and in just astronomical ways. And these are boys that often, the ones that have done it so far, are ones that were mediocre male athletes at best, switched over to women's sports, and suddenly they're at the top taking scholarships and taking positions from girls who have worked since they were 2 or 3 in soccer or whatever, and they're taking girl spots. I think there's a fairness issue. The
University of Pennsylvania just about 2 weeks ago has said we are returning all records back to females. We have vanquished and removed Leah Thomas's numbers. We will no longer discriminate. Girls will be in girls' locker rooms and only specifically for girls' locker rooms. University of Pennsylvania felt the pressure of the money that was going to be withheld from the federal government. Do you think that same federal government pressure coming down on Washington will have the same effect?
We'll see. But what I didn't want to do is wait and hope, because if you see all the rhetoric coming out of Bob Ferguson and Reichdahl, you see a defiant, screw you kind of attitude that they've got. We don't care what happens to girls' sports. And they're single-handedly, to me, trying to unwind what happened in 1972 with the Title IX protecting women's sports. I think the pressure will be there, but I think that this is they're in a bunker mode and they're going to fight and lash out. And so internally we're saying, and our polling shows this is a high awareness issue. 90+% of people we polled are aware of the issue. It's a high support issue. High 70s support fairness in girls' sports. And even more importantly, about 53% of those people we polled said that they would change their vote for the candidate if that person didn't align with them on the issue of fairness in girls' sports.
Wow,
that's a line crosser, right?
Yeah. Okay, so are the sheets out there in front of different public places for people to sign, and are you pouring all the money into this thing again?
I'm putting some cash up. We've got some other people that I think are going to come in and join us this time. The sheets will be out there shortly. There's some things that we've got to do to make sure they've got all the right information on the front of it.
Yes.
They'll be out very, very shortly, and then we'll be out. You'll see people out, and then also people can be looking for this. Anyone that signed an initiative before, there's a chance that we'll send it to you in the mail to go get your friends to do it. And that's really what I think can supercharge this. If people that agree go get their friends to sign it and send it back to us.
Brian Hayward
from, make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, I got you. Brian Hayward from Let's Go Washington. 2 more chances, 2 more bites at the apple. We'll see what happens this time. Thanks for calling in from Japan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
All right, there we go. Nate, you ready?
Yes, sir.
I don't have a sponsor for you.
Don't need one. South 5 and South 320th, right lane is blocked, as well as the end of the on-ramp by a rollover crash. It's up on the hill on the shoulder. You're backed up now to 405. Seattle to Federal Way has spiked to a 55-minute commute. If it wasn't for this crash, boy, this drive would be pretty much wide open this afternoon. Tacoma westbound 16 because of road work. We're bumper to bumper from I-5 all the way over to the Narrows Bridge, where 2 right lanes are blocked. Also, your Jackson Avenue on-ramp is blocked for this, and this is scheduled through 10 p.m. Saturday night, so plan on a half hour right now to clear this backup. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour 20 minutes. You got a 4-mile backup through JBLM, and then a solid backup from Nisqually down to Sleater-Kinney, where we have a collision in your left lane. North 5 starting in Olympia is packed at Highway 101 up to Sleater-Kinney from an earlier collision in the northbound lanes. That has cleared. This backup has eastbound 101 jam-packed approaching Crosby Boulevard, about a mile and a half backup there. In Sumner, southbound 167 at State Route 410, a collision has all southbound lanes blocked. You're backed up bumper to State Route 18. Everett to Marysville, 40 minutes. Arlington to Everett, down to a half hour. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
You know that feeling when your home finally feels organized? That's exactly what Closets by Design gave me. And let me tell you, it is a game changer and a marriage saver. If your closets are bursting at the seams, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. They don't design or use pre-made, pre-defined, standardized parts like many of their competitors, which can lead to designs that aren't truly maximizing your space. No, with Closets by Design, it's the highest grade products in the industry. Free in-home design consultation. Affordable luxury is the best way to put it. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. Locally owned, nationally trusted, you're getting the quality and the backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub, and I've got exciting news. During our Final Fair Savings event, you'll get a great deal on a saltwater hot tub and 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. This is a rare offer you don't want to miss. Fall is nearly here, and nothing will be better than enjoying the healing water of a hot spring spa. Are you ready? Ends September 21st. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The newly appointed CDC Vaccine Advisory Committee has declined to recommend COVID shots for this season. Instead, it says it wants that choice to be left up to you. CBS's Mark Strassman has more.
The CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee voted to advise Americans to speak to their doctor if they want a COVID-19 vaccine. But the ACIP stopped short of recommending anyone 6 months and older get the shot.
These recommendations come from a new panel appointed by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Dr. Helen Chu is with UW Medicine. She was removed from that panel.
My sense is that the sentiment is shifting away from trusting the CDC for vaccine recommendations and instead turning to the professional organizations like the American Academy of Pediatrics.
It is still unclear whether Americans can walk into pharmacies for the shots. U.S. Army says it is now believed 4 soldiers based out of JBLM died in a helicopter crash on Wednesday night. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi has more.
Their Black Hawk helicopter went down in the woods near Summit Lake in Thurston County. Recovery efforts are still underway. The Army says the soldiers were part of an elite special operations aviation unit known as the Night Stalkers. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. The names of the soldiers have not been released. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Newly released video shows officers cornering a suspect in Sultan. KIRO 7 TV's El Thomas.
Yeah. You drop your hands, I'm going to shoot you.
So the shooting happened in Snohomish County. Deputies found a man shot in the leg. The suspect was already gone and had made his way to King County. Well, the King County Sheriff's Office helped track that suspect down and ultimately arrested him.
A tax preparer in Vancouver, Washington pleads guilty to filing thousands of fraudulent returns. Federal prosecutors say Keith Altamirano inserted fake deductions and expenses, costing the U.S. Treasury more than $5 million. He faces sentencing in December. Takes us to 4:33. We have Nate Connors now with the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, it is busy out there. Let's start you in Federal Way, South 5 and South 320th. We've opened up the right lane, still blocking the very end of your on-ramp, causing an early merge. We've got this crash on your right shoulder. So you're backed up to South 188 there in South Center. Seattle to Federal Way has gone up a bit, though. We're now at an hour and 5 minutes. In Tacoma, westbound 16, bumper to bumper from I-5 over to the Narrows Bridge, where road work blocks 2 right lanes. This will last overnight into tomorrow. Also, the Jackson Avenue on-ramp is blocked for this. Plan on about a half hour to make your way through this backup. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour 20. You've got a 4-mile thick backup through JBLM, and then you're solid from Nisqually all the way to Sleater-Kinney, where a collision blocks your left lane. North 5 in Olympia is heavy from 101 up to Sleater-Kinney from an earlier collision. This backup has eastbound 101 jammed up as you approach Crosby Boulevard. Olympia to Tacoma, 45 minutes. And in Sumner, we've got a full closure southbound 167 at 410. All southbound lanes blocked by this crash. Drivers are getting by now on the right shoulder. You're backed up bumper to bumper from State Route 18. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Some increasing haze tonight, clearing out tomorrow ahead of some rainy and breezy weather overnight into early Sunday. Right now, 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers, and news that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Thanks, Joseph. Well said, well read. Bucky's Auto Service Center, 16 locations, been around for 55 years. Take your car there. Oh, yeah. Here we go, buddy. The John Curley Show. Why do I look like I'm having some sort of apoplectic shock in there? Why am I the same color as my shirt?
It's the screen. Don't forget.
Is it the same color?
You
as
did get
else?
some sun over the weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. You should have won
It's like a
sunscreen.
tomato. 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. Andrew, do we have his music? Here it is. Yeah.
So we get drunk.
Yeah.
So we don't sleep.
Jacob coming in. Manager.
We don't care who sees.
Yeah, they care.
We go out. That's how it's supposed to be.
They care.
Living young and wild and free.
This is the clean version. I didn't realize they took out the mentions of weed in it.
They did.
Wow. I didn't
We've
know.
been playing it then.
Just like this company.
We get. What are they saying?
What did they replace it with?
So what we get?
So what we don't sleep.
So what we don't sleep.
We don't sleep.
I actually
We don't put on sunscreen. Okay, wow. Well,
that
anyway,
might be more dangerous to your health is not sleeping.
Here you were here. You got up off the floor a couple days ago, crawled into the studio, got up onto the evolved and onto the chair because you had given me permission.
Yes.
For a public service activity to go with the Seattle Police Department, to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning to smoke a tremendous amount of weed, and then to be able to be tested throughout the day until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And they would be testing myself and a few other volunteers, either drinking alcohol or smoking pot. And it was all for DUI. So the cops learned to be able to do, sobriety tests for people. Mm-hmm. And I said, yes, I'll do it. Okay. We just wanted to run it by people.
Yeah.
And then Joe calls me and he's like, yeah, they're shooting it down.
Yeah. So we actually share the same boss. His name is Brian Buckaloo. He used to work with, and occasionally what Brian and I will do is kind of a good cop, bad cop routine. And he's very graciously allows me to be the good cop. But then it turns out he has to be the bad cop. And that is...
I'm lost. Hold on. So there's two of you. One of you is the good cop.
That's right.
So
that's right.
One is offering cigarettes and the other one is wanting a confession. Those are the good cop, bad cop stuff.
Actually, it is a confusing metaphor when in this instance.
So then all of a sudden, one of you turned into the bad cop?
Yeah. So you asked me, and I for the the benefit of the community, I did say yes.
Right.
And then Brian heard about it and got to thinking perhaps the company wouldn't be so happy with.
So did it ever make it to the third level?
I don't think so. I think Brian intervened to make sure that it never did.
Well, and he had, by the way, he was all for it at one point, but then had some sort of epiphany while brushing his teeth, and somehow that was an important part of the story where he said, "I can't." When they inevitably asked me if I signed off on this, my answer cannot be
You know what?
yes.
I'm going back to what I've always tried to live by. Ask for forgiveness. Always forgiveness, never permission. So here's what you've taught us.
Yeah.
To tell you nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? You will never be invited back here again. We're going to make sure you don't listen. No, but that doesn't happen anyway. We don't have to do much there. But no, you basically what management has done, they've taught us a very valuable lesson. Just do this crap without asking anybody, because this would have been great. Thank you. It would have been great radio.
I have to admit, I don't think anybody disagrees that it would have been good content.
Yes.
I think our parent company likes to think of themselves as kind of a Disney-style entity where there's certain types of content that, although might be good and is we think should exist, perhaps we won't be making. That's how they would frame it. I don't know if that's
because here's where the other thing comes to mind and to light at this point. What it really is about you two. You and Brian all of a sudden going, oh, good. They did what?
Yeah.
And then management calls up and then they go, were you not aware of this? And then they're like, well, we didn't really. The two of you are crapping your pants. And then you come in, and then I get a call in, and then they're like, this looks really bad for me.
Yeah.
Which is going to come down to you guys. This looks really bad that we weren't aware that you were doing this. So it's all about you. It's not about the public. How many people will need to be pulled over? How many police officers will not have the ability to tell if somebody has smoked their body weight or not? And both of you, this is on your heads.
Yes.
This is on their heads.
Yes.
No one's safe for the next
lives are in danger.
The 60 years.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I won't be able to sleep at night, just like that song.
That's right.
All right. Well, that honestly, that is the lesson learned.
Yeah,
that I should have told you. And let's just say, hypothetically, if we hadn't told you, chances of anybody in management or
finding out
slim to none.
Yeah.
Well, so I am curious how this is.
Because see the light says on air. That should tell you it's going out. Go ahead.
Have you gotten into trouble on the other end in terms of you said yes to this and now you have to back out? Are they upset at you?
Oh yeah.
What did Dave the cop say?
No, he's not involved.
Oh,
he's not involved.
Okay.
Sorry, cannot participate. The boss told me that the owners of the radio station wouldn't be happy with me talking about this. I wish I had nothing better to do, like my friends that are going to be doing this. But apparently I can't. I'm still employed the last time I checked. And then the person wrote back, okay, thanks for letting me know. Okay. So I don't know how they're going to replace me.
Yeah, wow. I know. You're irreplaceable.
Spike volunteered his wife, by the way.
Oh, I would have loved to have done it because I'll tell you something, just letting it rip like that.
Really?
Oh, my God. Because I always think I'm funny when I'm high, but then I would have documentation, and then I'd go compare and contrast. Be like, guess you had to be there.
I'm kind of fascinated whether or not you're involved or not. Just the fact that a common paranoia, when people consume marijuana is that like people are cops.
Yeah.
But in this instance, you are intentionally doing it around cops. So what is the paranoia?
I don't know. You're in the room, and this is something they do. They put out the word for volunteers. I guess they don't make it public. They went like, you'll be showing up to go do this. I think they don't provide the alcohol, but normally the police officers' wives or the husbands of the female police officers will go in. That they kind of keep it close to the family. Why Patrick, our former producer, who really made something of himself, who's a police officer, he's the one that contacted us, and I'm not quite sure why he felt the need to call me, but. So here we have to turn it down. So I'm sure all the stuff that would have happened, the mayor, an award,
the Peabody,
thereby, whereas, thereby, something else, an award. All right, well that's fine. Again, the lesson learned is
ask for forgiveness, not permission.
All right.
And now you know
we'll keep you out
the rest of the story.
We'll keep you out of it. And in the meantime, take us out. Take us out. What?
Oh, yeah.
So what?
Do we get to hear the song again?
So what?
So what? We get drunk.
Oh, they put the drunk in.
We don't sleep. We don't care who sees.
There we go. That's true. We don't care.
We go out.
We go out.
That's how it's supposed to be. Living long and wild and free.
All right.
So what? I keep it rolled up, sagging my pants, not caring what I show. Keep it real if you don't know me. Keep it playing with my bros. It look clean, don't it? Watched it the other day. Watch how
Nice
you lean
moves,
on
John.
it.
I guess. I was trying to jump back. I couldn't remember all the words. All right. Nathan, how's it looking out there?
It is a rough Friday. Everett to Marysville, taking you a half hour. You're thick from the Boeing Freeway up to 529. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. It's slow from Lake City Way into Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, looking pretty good, just 40 minutes. Scattered crowding between Kirkland and Canyon Park. South 405 is slow through Alderwood and Bothell. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. It is packed from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Nothing new here. Eastbound 90, however, is new. It's bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue over to Island Crest Way. At West Mercer Way, that right lane is blocked all the way out to the East Channel Bridge for road work. Tacoma, westbound 16, bumper to bumper from I-5 over to the Narrows Bridge where road work blocks your two right lanes. It's going to take you a half hour to clear this back up. And in Sumner, southbound 167 and 410, a collision blocks all your southbound lanes. That's two lanes. Drivers are getting by on the shoulder. You're backed up to State Route 18, Renton to Puyallup, 50 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Alrighty, everybody. We love the fact that you listen to the show, and those of you on the YouTube, for some reason, you enjoy it there, and you like to get in there and mix it up. Joe will be monitoring you because apparently some of you are not behaving yourselves. And not that, what does it mean you monitor them?
I take a peek every now and then.
And then what happens?
It's just chaos.
Okay. So the deputy of the Green Party, now just elected, so they were going to get in there and just take over. They said to the Labor Party, we're not here to work with you. We're here to replace you. So they've got a new guy in there. How old is he? He seems quite young. And he has quite the background. He is Muslim. He was an actor for a while. Then he decided he picked up a different last name. But he was also known, he's known in some of the UK rags as the boob whisperer. Here's why.
Do you still believe that women's breasts can be enlarged through hypnotherapy?
And unfortunately, we've run out of time to find the answer.
It's only 42, by the way.
I've never believed that. That doesn't represent my work or anything I've ever done. And you shouldn't believe what you read in The Sun.
Right. So you didn't charge £222 for a 90-minute session where you got women to visualise themselves with bigger breasts?
No, I absolutely have never charged for that. As I say, don't read what you've...
You have held those sessions in which you have asked women to visualise themselves with bigger breasts through hypnotherapy in order to see them enlarged.
Wow, this is good stuff. See, now, so the guy said, did you charge this amount of money? And then he said, no, I never did that. So now you're going to, here's the truth.
As I've said, none of that represents my work, and I wouldn't believe what you read in The Sun. This was 11 years ago, sorry. I wasn't involved in politics at all. And I'll make a wider point. I'm someone who was working as an actor, a barman, I worked as a waiter, I worked in the front door of nightclubs, and indeed, I worked as a hypnotherapist too. I think that actually means I've got much varied experience.
That's fantastic. Good luck to you. It's just what you were doing in those activities, which I see you have apologised for.
Wow. He's really grilling him on the boob therapy.
So what have you apologised for if the Sun have made it up?
I apologise because I recognise that would be offensive to people, but again, does not represent my work and does not represent me.
So you did, though, have women come through your door, doing hypnotherapy on them to see if they could enlarge their breasts?
Well, you asked me a different question. You asked me if I ever charged for that. No, I didn't.
There you go.
Got him.
Darn it.
Wow.
And then the follow-up is, did it work?
I doubt it. I mean,
he didn't do any of that sort of stuff. Yeah. So the guy's in there. The Green Party, if you understand how it works in the UK, Labour, the Conservatives, they're having a real problem with immigration. This guy would like to be able to have people come to the UK, and he wants to help them get there in a safer manner, and is actually asking for more immigration to the UK. And they see that as a way of helping to keep the economy going. But there's a bunch of people also there that feel as if they're losing their culture, and Great Britain is slowly fading away as more and more immigrants come in and don't necessarily assimilate to the old British ways. Let's go to Nate over there and check and Oh, I almost said it. You see that? I caught myself. So I don't want to end up on the board.
He got a new one yesterday, by the way. You had already left, Andrew.
What's that?
A new Beacon Plumbing.
Yeah,
he did?
We got it. That's why we don't need to dwell on mistakes. Here's Nate looking at traffic. Nathan?
All right, Linwood to Seattle, a 1 hour commute. Got a little crowding in Linwood, but the brunt of this is this bumper-to-bumper backup from Northgate Way to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, half hour on both I-90 and 520. Going the other way, eastbound 90, bumper-to-bumper from Rainier Avenue over to Island Crest Way. Get used to this. This is due to this road work that starts tonight and goes on for the next 16 days. But right now, they've already closed down the right lane at West Mercer all the way out to the East Channel Bridge. Seattle to Bellevue is a half hour. It's only 15 minutes on eastbound 520. Seattle to Federal Way taking a solid hour. You've got a small backup, but it is barely moving from about South 188th and South Center down to South 320th, where a collision has pretty much been cleared. It's off to your right shoulder, but it's still partially blocking the very end of that on-ramp. In Tacoma, westbound 16, bumper-to-bumper from I-5 over to the Narrows Bridge, where road work blocks 2 right lanes. It's a half hour to make your way through this backup. And in Sumner, southbound 167 and 410, a collision blocks the left lane. We opened up a lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists, too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Oh,
deep
high
breath.
Five, high five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you, irgpt.com.
Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup, with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Schedule now at SubaruofPuyallup.com.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. In the wake of ABC's suspension of the Jimmy Kimmel Live show over comments on Monday in connection with Charlie Kirk's murder, a Sacramento ABC affiliate says shots were fired into the TV station earlier today. Anthony Gamble with the Sacramento Police Department.
When officers got here, they did observe that the building had been struck by at least one bullet in the window. The building was occupied, and fortunately, nobody was injured.
Anthony Gamble says that investigators don't know if it was a targeted attack. Meantime, Republican Senator Ted Cruz says on the podcast Verdict with Ted Cruz that FCC Chairman Brendan Carr's comments about doing it the easy way or the hard way after the preempting of Kimmel's show are concerning. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
Film and TV writers protested outside ABC headquarters in New York. Today, Michael Eisner, the former CEO of ABC's parent company, Disney, slammed his successors, posting, "Where has all the leadership gone? Who will step up for the First Amendment?"
A public memorial service for Charlie Kirk is being held on Sunday in Glendale, Arizona. Attendance for the ceremony will be free, but organizers are asking for people to register online and get a ticket. CBS's Andres Gutierrez.
Those going should expect airport-style screening and a strict no-bag policy. Police are already warning about long lines at the gates and asking people to be patient.
Another hit on a suspected drug smuggling vessel. President Trump says the U.S. military has carried out its third deadly strike this month in the U.S. Southern Command area. He says 3 men killed and no U.S. forces harmed. A CDC vaccine advisory committee wants COVID-19 shots to be an individual decision and has declined to recommend that all Americans get a COVID shot. CBS's Mark Strassman.
The proposed alteration that the patient get a prescription first was a no-go. The second vote had to do with whether to recommend that somebody seeking a COVID-19 shot of any age would first have an informed conversation with their doctor about the risks and rewards. That passed unanimously.
President Trump says a TikTok deal is about to be sealed.
The president says he spoke with Chinese leader Xi about an agreement to allow TikTok to continue to operate in the United States.
The investors are getting ready.
Speaking in the Oval Office, Trump said there will be no Chinese ownership of the social media app.
These are American investors, all of them.
The president admitted TikTok wasn't always on his radar.
Look, I wasn't a fan of TikTok, and then I got to use it, and I became a fan, and it helped me win the election in a landslide.
The deal could be signed at a regional summit next month. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, we may finally be getting some closure in the case of Travis Decker. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, it is so busy out there. Everett to Marysville, 35 minutes, heavy volumes between the Boeing Freeway and 529. Everett to Seattle, an hour and 20 minutes, 1 hour from Linwood. You've got 3 backups here in Everett. It's a lengthy backup from 41st to South 128. Just heavy volumes here. You are moving at a good pace. It's not just stopped. More slowing in Linwood, and then you're just barely putting along between Northgate into downtown Seattle. Southbound 99 packed from Green Lake to the stadiums, where the Savannah Bananas have a 7 o'clock game at T-Mobile. North 5 slows from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Eastbound 90, you're bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue all the way out to Island Crest Way. Mercer Way, your right lane is blocked all the way out to the East Channel Bridge for road work that starts tonight. Seattle to Bellevue, a half hour. It's half that on eastbound 520. Seattle to Federal Way, we've improved to 40 minutes. Still thick, though, from South 188 to State Route 516. Tacoma, westbound 16. It's bumper to bumper from I-5 over to the Narrows Bridge, where road work blocks your 2 right lanes. Your Jackson Avenue on-ramp is also blocked to westbound 16. Plan on about 35 minutes to clear this backup. And in Sumner, southbound 167 and 410, a collision blocks the left lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Authorities sounding very confident now they have found the remains of Travis Decker, the man accused of murdering his 3 daughters nearly 4 months ago near Leavenworth. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin just spoke with the Chelan County Sheriff.
Now he says that the clothing at the scene matches what Decker may have been last wearing. The description on the remains matches Decker's profile, his physical profile. Indy tells us that personal items at the scene also align with what Decker would have had with him at the time.
And the sheriff is speaking right now. He says they are still waiting on those positive DNA matches. The U.S. Army says it now believes 4 soldiers died in a helicopter crash Wednesday night in Thurston County. Their Black Hawk went down in the woods near Summit Lake. The soldiers based at JBLM were part of an elite aviation unit. Recovery efforts are still underway. The cause of that crash remains under investigation. 3 boys and a 25-year-old man were all in court today for the brutal assault of a trans woman at the Renton Transit Center on Monday. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
2 brothers, ages 15 and 17, were in court and both pleaded not guilty to an assault charge and a hate crime for the beating of 39-year-old Nikki Armstrong. A third boy, 16 years old, made an initial appearance and has not yet been charged. Prosecutor Sarah Erickson Mills wanted all 3 held in secure detention.
We have serious community safety concerns because this was an unprovoked attack. It was extremely vicious and it was motivated by hate.
All 3 were placed on electric home monitoring. The 4th suspect, 25-year-old Ramadre Edwards, was also in court. His bail was set at $300,000. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The Mariners are in Houston right now with the chance to take charge in the American League West. Play-by-play man Aaron Goldsmith, L710 Seattle Sports.
Obviously the biggest 3 games of the year for the Mariners and something we've circled since spring training, man. And isn't it just so fitting that the Mariners have the exact same record as the Astros?
Mariners at Astros starts in about 3 minutes. Winner of the series takes sole possession of first place in the division. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Some increasing haze tonight. We'll clear out tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and then rainy and breezy weather overnight Saturday into Sunday. Right now, 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Oh, good.
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
Did you edit that?
No, do you not remember that? That was real. That was 100%.
I know, but I just didn't know he's mentioning the Himalayas.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
All right, well, it was a bad day.
Lots of those.
What's that?
Lots of those.
We've all gotten tongue-tied occasionally. Dive in the day! All right. For 4th of July, we did the show on 4th of July, didn't we? Did we do the day before or day
3rd
after?
of July.
3rd of July. And I wanted to do a story because I was thinking, I'm America. I think patriotism is important. And so I start into my rabbit hole. And about an hour and a half later, I discover this incredible podcast from this really interesting perspective. Because I just thought, you can't appreciate America if you've lived here all of your life, right? It's like the story about the two fish swimming in the water, and the younger fish swims by and says to the older fish, "How's the water today?" And the older fish say, "The what?" They don't even know they're in the water, right? So I come across Christian Ray Flores' podcast, and I watched the whole thing, and I thought, let's get this guy on, because he has lived, I think, in 6 countries or something, and he's experienced just about every sort of authoritarianism and Marxism and collectivism, and I thought, we got to get him on to talk about how great America is. And then I went ahead and downloaded his book. By the way, if you got some money over there, it's coming from me. The Little Book of Big Reasons to Love America. I thought, Christian Ray Flores, thanks for coming on, because I think somebody with your background and the life that you've led and the places that you've lived give us hopefully a better perspective of America, because you see the numbers, don't you, Christian, that 58% of Americans are extremely proud of America, and most people would rather live somewhere else. When you hear someone say this, don't you want to just grab them by the lapels and shake them a little bit, but not too much, but just enough?
Me and every other immigrant who's escaped an authoritarian regime to be in the United States. Right. Yes, we do. We want to shake them a little bit. We want to slap them, honestly.
Right. But you understand this, because if you've lived here all of your life, and you're an American, your perspective is simply surrounded by America. But when someone, had you lived in 6 other countries? Is that correct?
Yeah. So this is my 6th country and my 4th continent.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a very strange person. I'm half Chilean, half Russian. I was a refugee in Chile after the military coup in Chile. We went to the Soviet Union. My mom is Russian. We really, really were poor there. Went to Africa. My dad was there. So I basically managed to experience a military coup in Chile, a civil war in Mozambique, and the collapse of the Soviet Union in Russia, all before I was 21 years old. So, yeah, I have some experiences, let's put it that way.
But let's not forget that you also topped out in the charts back in the 1990s with this song.
Yep. Let's go, come on!
Our generation, Boris Yeltsin, loved the song.
Yeah, his campaign used it as the anthem for his presidential election against the communists, and that was actually the last time the communists had a chance to win.
Yeah.
So they were coming back, actually. So it just happened to be a #1 hit at the time. I was lucky, and it was a very sort of rebellious song, right? So it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, and so with your perspective of the countries that you've lived in, and as you mentioned, authoritarianism, the collectivism, and Marxism, here you are in the United States, and when you work and with your book about the Little Book of Big Reasons to Love America, I'm sure you get into a lot of cocktail party talk, and you run into an American that just really thinks America is a crap hole. What are some of the things that you want to say to them so that they have a better perspective of how good they have it?
Well, get out of the country, live somewhere for 6 months to a year, and see how you feel afterwards, right? And I think what people don't understand, because we're so privileged to experience all this freedom of speech, of movement, of free enterprise, all of these things, that I think it's 72% of the population of the planet live today, not 100 years ago, under an authoritarian regime of some sort. You just can't get that perspective unless you're there. And as a matter of fact, I lived in 3 countries. Both Chile was under a socialist president at that time. He was overthrown. The Mozambique government was a Marxist government. Obviously, the Soviet Union, the mothership of it all. So, I have a lot of, lived experiences when it comes to how this ideology was implemented, what was the result, etc. Plus, I have a master's degree in economics, so I actually read Karl Marx and wrote papers on Karl Marx.
How much do you fault American educational system? I think it was Thomas Aquinas says that you cannot love what you do not know, right? So if you don't really know America and its history and perspective with other countries, then you really can't begin to grasp what makes this such a unique place.
I would say absolutely. It's a natural breeding environment for idealistic ideologies, right? Things that are sort of they are great on paper, but they're not rooted in truth. That's just what do they say, right? If you're young and you're not a socialist, you don't have a heart. If you're older and you're not a capitalist, you don't have a brain, right? It's just true, and there's nothing necessarily fundamentally unnatural, but definitely it's the most natural breeding ground for ideologies that have nothing to do with reality, right? But I think part of it also, in my opinion, is good times create weak people, and weak people create hard times, and hard times create strong people. So, the inevitable result of prosperity is weakness and disconnection from reality. And I think that's also a natural cycle. It's really fascinating. I do business coaching, right? And the irony of it, of this is doesn't escape me, that I actually, basically the job that I have is to teach Americans to be more American. And the reason for that is because, I think it's Benjamin Franklin who said, those who give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety, right? Well, that is happening right now. But not only from the standpoint of safety, but from the standpoint of certainty. I think Americans exchange liberty and freedom for certainty, for a paycheck, for the house, the car, the this, the that. And they are not entrepreneurial anymore. They're afraid to experiment, to be bold, to try new things, to be fully creative, because they're used to being so successful and American. So they exchange liberty for certainty. And I think it's a version of what Franklin was talking about.
So when you say that you teach Americans how to be American, what's that class sound like?
It's how do you build a brand? How do you take your expertise and how do you monetize it? How you serve other people? And don't do it, in a massive corporation where there's a lot of certainty. And you take a lot of chances, you bet on yourself, you take a lot of risk, and then you reap the benefits. That's the most American thing you can think of, right? Entrepreneurship. And it could be entrepreneurship where you own your own business. It can be intrapreneurship where you start initiating something within an existing company. Or it could be socialpreneurship where you can lead a nonprofit, but in a way that is creative, not institutionalized stuff, right? That's America, I think.
You see it, you can see it in numbers. If you look at the Fortune 400 or 500, the majority of the billionaires now in America, I think 2/3, or it might be even higher now, have come from another country.
Oh, absolutely. That doesn't surprise me. These are the people that want to try new things. These are the people. And of course, if you're second, third, think about that, right? Good times create what? Weak people. Weak people do not want to risk. They do not want to build. They don't want to start something new that can fail. Why? Because they're addicted to certainties, to safety, to stability.
Yeah.
Stability is more important than freedom. Stability is more important than inspiration, than creativity. than building something and failing.
Yeah. I'm going to correct myself on there. It's actually 46%. I just looked it up, but it's a remarkable number to think from far and born to the United States.
I'm not surprised at all. So
I guess that you say that we've become too comfortable, and then in order for comfort, we have exchanged that for security, and then with security, we've gotten weaker, and then we've also given up some of our liberty. You can also be sympathetic to the fact that somebody who is kind of coming up in 2008, 2009, you get out of college and then all of a sudden the economy crashes and then the U.S. government goes in and bails out all these banks. That would sort of jaundice you to the capitalist society. And then you run into something again, George Floyd and all this other stuff of rank-cutting with racism and people believing we're the most racist country in the world. You'd have a hard time making an argument with somebody who was in Africa for something like that, or any other country in the world. But you could see how large sort of cultural, political dynamics can shape the mind to see America in a particular way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, one of the things about Marxist, neo-Marxist sort of thought and ideology is it is incredibly attractive. Because what it does, it distorts a deep, I think, a deeply Christian idea of compassion, but then robs the very essence of that compassion as divine, but by making it humanistic. So it's the worst kind of thing when you take a truth and you tweak it just a little bit. And it still sounds so true and so sweet and and you can rally behind that, right?
But if Karl Marx were here, he would say to you, Christian Ray Flores, it is the opiate of the people. That it is just to keep people dumb and numb to what's really happening in the world. He needed people to rise up against the rich and to everyone to have all their needs met if we're all working paddling along and rowing along together. There will be less pain and less suffering if we are all just in this together, joining the great Communist Party, and we don't need God in there giving us some idea that there's some force out beneath what we have here, that we could have our own heaven right here on earth.
Yeah, and you actually said it exactly how it is. Marxism is an absolute religion. It totally is. It has a savior, it has a heaven, it has evil and good, it has all those things, and it places the state in place of God.
Do you think, are you optimistic? I know from as a Christian you are, because optimism, as Winston Churchill says, you have no other choice than to be optimistic. But when you see that Harvard recently, 2025, a youth poll, 15% said the country is headed in the right direction. 42% of those surveyed said they like socialism better than capitalism, although only 16% could actually define socialism. But when you see young people really starting to move more towards socialism, and you see that possibly there's a candidate in New York City, one of the biggest, most successful, dynamic cities possibly in the world, could nominate a Marxist.
That is sort of that's actually the reason why I wrote the book. So the backstory is that when we moved here 21 years ago, I would be so excited about all the little nuances of America that Americans wouldn't notice, right? So I would go to, for example, my wife Deb, who is from Wisconsin, took me to the little town she grew up in, and I had tears in my eyes, and she was like, "What are you talking about? This is a town I couldn't wait to get out of," and I said, "You don't understand. This is in the middle of nowhere. There's a city where people have decent homes, paved roads, a great high school, movie theaters." In the middle of nowhere. It's a marsh. People in Wisconsin don't know where Horicon, Wisconsin is. In most countries in the world, especially in the third world, you take a car and you go 100 miles outside of the capital, and you're in the Middle Ages. That's just true. So the country that can provide a Horicon, Wisconsin, all over the country, it's an incredible country. So I would basically brag about America to my wife, and she says, you had some good insights, you should share that and publish that somewhere. And I'll be like, well, it's going to be political, people are going to immediately peg me as whatever,
Yeah.
And until the sort of almost like this immersion from the shadows of open Marxist ideology in the mainstream conversation emerged, and I was losing my mind. I was so upset, and I would, I had sort of this season where I was actually angry. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Can't you see this is evil, like actual evil? And Deb, basically, that's what she said. She said, they don't know because they don't have your background. You should still publish. So that's why I wrote the book, and I meant it as an optimistic book. It's not a political book. I don't endorse a party. I just sort of share. These are qualities, almost like a cultural stack of America.
Yeah.
10 chapters, 10 reasons. This is the contrast that you can see somewhere else. And all of these amazing things are almost like a constellation of things that aligned in one country. It's an absolute miracle, and we should be grateful.
Well, I do recommend the book. Having read through it, I wanted to have you on for 4th of July or the day before because I thought no one could do a better job of explaining, I think, what makes America such a great place. It's the little book of big reasons to love America. It is a love letter from an immigrant. And by the way, I know that you often give your wife credit for being your muse, Christian Ray Flores. Is she musing you in new directions? Do you have something else going on as well?
Oh, constantly. I mean, she's literally every good idea that I've actually pursued, she usually is behind it.
She's behind
you have to do this. Yeah.
From that little town in Wisconsin, and then meeting a man who's traveled and lived around the world, and the two of you forces together to help all of us appreciate what America is. Christian Ray Flores at ChristianRayFlores.com. Thanks for spending some time with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Nate. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Everett to Marysville is going to take you a half hour of heavy volumes between the Boeing Freeway and 529. Northbound 529 is also packed between Everett and Marysville. In fact, the backup is into downtown Everett. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett, looking good. Both are at 40 minutes. Everett to Seattle, though, an hour, 25 minutes. We're going the wrong way here. It's 1 hour from Linwood. You've got three backups ahead of you. You're crowded from 41st down to State Route 526, the Boeing Freeway. A little more slowing in Linwood, not too bad. And then bumper to bumper from Northgate into downtown Seattle. Southbound 99 remains where we're looking at scattered backups from Green Lake to the stadiums. It was packed before. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 25 minutes on 520, which is heavy across the lake. 35 minutes on I-90. It's heavy from 150th out in Eastgate to North Mercer Way, but then from there, you're going to clear out all the way into Seattle. Eastbound 90, you're bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue to Highland Crest Way. At West Mercer Way, that right lane is blocked all the way out to the East Channel Bridge for road work. Seattle to Bellevue, 25 minutes. And in Sumner, we're all clear southbound 167 and 410 from an earlier collision. The backup is clearing out pretty quickly as well, but you're still heavy between Algona and Pacific. This report brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Cage-free eggs are good, free-range are better, and the mobile pasture-raised eggs are the best. Choose the best for your family. Locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms Eggs. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
What if weight loss didn't feel like a lonely battle? What if you had a proven tool and a trusted guide by your side? At Longevity Medical Clinics, our medically supervised GLP-1 weight loss program helps you shed pounds, boost your metabolism, and feel more like yourself again. But unlike online programs that drop medication at your doorstep and disappear, we take the time to understand your body. We track your lab work, monitor your safety, and adjust your plan so your results are healthy and lasting. Because weight loss isn't one size fits all, and you deserve a program designed for your unique biology. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. Call Longevity Medical Clinics today at 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics. Real medicine, real monitoring, real results. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Uma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Uma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Uma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Nice. Find your business comm at uma.com/radio.
RV buyers, don't miss the Northwest Fall RV Show at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds, the last major RV event of the season, with acres of new and used RVs to explore. New 2026 floor plans, 2025 model liquidation with savings up to 50%. New trailers as low as $12,995. Special event financing, free parking and admission. September 25th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. NWFallRVShow.com. That's NWFallRVShow.com.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub, and I've got exciting news. During our Final Fair Savings event, you'll get a great deal on a saltwater hot tub and 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. This is a rare offer you don't want to miss. Fall is nearly here, and nothing will be better than enjoying the healing water of a hot spring spa. Are you ready? Ends September 21st. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Hey, good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo.
We are close to justice being served and law prevailing.
That is Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison moments ago, saying he is confident closure is coming in their months-long search for Travis Decker, the man accused of murdering his 3 daughters near Leavenworth. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin says search teams found human remains along with the shirt and shorts they believe Decker was wearing at the time.
They also found tobacco in that area as well as a bracelet. Now, both of those things they say Travis would have had on him. There's been pictures of him wearing that bracelet, so those were very big items for them to find, things that really connected them to Travis Decker.
The Washington State Patrol Crime Lab is still doing its DNA analysis analysis. Those results are pending. The Army now confirms 4 soldiers based at Joint Base Lewis McChord likely died when their Black Hawk helicopter crashed Wednesday night. It went down in the woods above Summit Lake, about 20 miles west of Olympia. Jacqueline Hill is with Army Public Affairs.
On-site law enforcement, firefighters, and specialty personnel from Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington, are conducting recovery efforts, and they are working to bring our soldiers home.
Military is also working to determine what caused that crash. The federal government's new vaccine advisors are out with new recommendations for the COVID vaccine. They suggest you talk with your doctor before getting the shot. More from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Now the panel's not recommending it for anybody. Instead, leaving the decision up to individuals. In short, if you want it, you can get it.
For COVID-19, I think they have actually made it a little bit simpler.
But Dr. Helen Chu, a UW medicine physician who was among those fired from that panel earlier this year, says that could change. So she recommends getting your COVID and flu shots now and your RSV vaccine if you're eligible. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The panel also narrowly voted not to require a prescription for the COVID vaccine. A Pierce County court revises the sentence for former Seattle Supersonic Sean Kemp. He will now serve 1 day of confinement with credit for time already served after firing a gun at a car outside Tacoma Mall last year. He will still serve 30 days of home monitoring and complete 240 hours of community service. Takes us to 5:33. Let's go now to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, a very busy Friday afternoon out there. Everett to Marysville taking a half hour. We've got heavy volumes between the Boeing Freeway and 529. Northbound on 529 is also packed between Everett and Marysville with backups into downtown Everett. Everett to Seattle, about an hour, 25 minutes. You've got 1 hour from Linwood still. 3 backups. You're slow from 41st down to 526. A little slowing in Linwood, not much there, but then it gets really thick in Northgate into downtown Seattle. Southbound 99, backups from Green Lake to the stadium, scattered backups. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on 520. You're heavy from about mid-span over to I-5. Half hour on I-90. It's heavy from 150th out in Eastgate to North Mercer Way. From there, you're going to clear out right away, all the way into Seattle. Eastbound 90, however, is improving, but still bumper to bumper across the lake to Island Crest Way. Seattle to Bellevue will take you 20 minutes. And in Tacoma, westbound 16 remains packed from I-5 out to the Narrows Bridge, where road work has 2 right lanes blocked overnight into Saturday night. And right now, it's taking you a good 40-45 minutes to clear this backup. Thinking of a Kia EV, you better act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett, simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Seeing some increasing haze as the night goes on. It'll clear out by tomorrow ahead of some rainy and breezy weather overnight into early Sunday, and then mostly dry by Sunday afternoon. Should be nice weather for the Hawks game. Right now, 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, Teeny, this is your big job. This is your big part of the show. You get a chance to spin the wheel. That's Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe wheel. Teeny, if you'd be so kind. There she goes. Holding on to the wheel as she goes around and around and around. And I think all the players are on the wheel. Red, green, blue, red, yellow, blue, yellow, and go. Oh, landed on Teeny, then moved to Aaron.
Welcome back. Wow. Thank you. Well, for those who don't know, I was on a cruise this past week.
By the way, how was that? You didn't take your whole family on the cruise?
It's me, my wife, and my sister-in-law and her new husband. Kind of crashed their honeymoon. However, I will say...
Whoa. What do you mean kind of crashed?
Well, here's why. We had this cruise planned before he proposed.
Oh. So before.
No, for real. This thing was planned 8-9 months ago.
Wait,
he
so
proposed.
as couples, you had it planned?
Correct,
Okay,
yeah. And then he decided to propose and turn it into a honeymoon, and now here we are crashing their honeymoon.
That is weird.
Anyways, we did our separate things, and it was fun.
I hope so.
That would be weird. Okay.
But wait. Wait, before we get in, because people are on, tenterhooks waiting to get the Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe. How was it when you came home? The house in perfect order?
You know the answer. So, no. Well, 2 dogs. Two dogs. And we had dog sitters, of course. But, man, our laundry room is just, it's stinky right now. A lot of
leftover. Towels left on the floor. Moldy.
Dog, urine, and a couple of poops also.
Wait, so you had dog? They weren't staying there. They would just stop by.
Right. They were in our house, and we dog sitters.
Hold on. They said they were in your house.
I might want to dock their pay a little bit. 'Cause I don't know how often they truly came to let them out, but they're supposed to come 3 times a day.
And you don't have cameras, so you don't know if they were there or not.
That is true. It's all right. It's all right. They just sunk it into the baseboards, and it's totally fine. Totally fine. And I actually yesterday had to get a crowbar and get those baseboards off.
Oh no!
Oh my!
The whole bottom layer is just lined with urine. Not pretty.
That's a lot of urine.
Yeah, I know.
And how many times a day were they going there to check?
Supposed to come 3 times a day.
3? Wow, just 3 times.
Let them out, go a little walk and all that.
Sure. What were you paying them?
It was supposed. Well, so here's the deal.
It's like Rover or something?
They're neighborhood kids.
Oh, okay.
So 14, 15, it's like $20 a day, right, to stop by. And we did 2 of them, and I think one's better than the other. So it's like $100 a week, or it was like a great deal, right? You can't really beat that for a neighborhood kid.
Yeah.
So
you can beat that by not having to.
That is true.
Claw
you get
off,
what you pay for, so I'm not gonna.
Okay,
I'm not gonna be super upset about it.
Time for the recipe. I'm sorry.
Well, here's what you don't want to do on the cruise ship: is get the eggs Benedict from the buffet, cold hollandaise, and a barely poached egg. Everything was nasty.
Okay, there's the recipe for the day on board a cruise. Thank you very much.
Yes, you got it.
It reminds me of the time my brother and I got hired to cut grass at this person's house, and we cut the grass. We didn't have the starter mower. They gave us just push mowers. You know what that is, with the push, you get a little thing to spin around. That's all we had. We didn't have a gas mower. Didn't have the electric back then. Just 2 of these push things. So my brother and I were like, we cut it the first day, and we'll get back and we'll go back, walk back home. And I said to Chuck, we go back in the second week. And I said, Chuck, they're not coming back until August. They're not going to know. They're going to pay us every week. They're not going to have no idea that we were here or not. And Chuck's like, yeah, but they're paying us every week. I said, who cares? They're not here. We're going to get paid every week, whether we're there cutting the grass or not. Let's just not cut it. We'll just show up in August before they get back. He's like, I don't know. It's probably not right. I go, well, I'm not doing it. He goes, well, I'm not doing it without you. I said, there we go. We're done. Settled. And this was like the second week in June. So we just never went back. Boy, when you let the grass grow from the second week in June all the way to like the 3rd week in August, it's not grass anymore. It is a field. And not only is it a field, remember, all you have are these just 2 pushy things. We couldn't even get any momentum to get that thing to spin around.
Yeah, those things are hard even on a good day.
Right. So then we borrowed this guy that had like not a weed whacker, but what's the thing that the
scythe or something?
The scythe. Yeah. We needed the hood like the deaf guy. So we're in there with this. We both had these 2 scythes just slicing through this stuff. But then once we got through it, it was just bales of weeds. It looked like you could feel like dandelions and weird gray and brown ferns are everywhere. And we cut through all of it. I'm sure when they got home, they're like, what is this? It looks like a threshing machine had gone through their front yard.
Did you get paid?
No. But we did not deserve to be paid. Same sort of thing as your kids going in there. Let's call them up. What's the phone number? Let's call those kids.
My wife has their number.
Let's get them on the phone and we'll just run them through, because there's no way they were at your house a certain number of times, right? We don't know.
I have my doubts.
Okay, fine. All right, good.
How about that?
By the way, just one quick thing on the game that I invented over the weekend. I'm going to highly recommend that people try this at parties, because so often those parties are so unbelievably boring. I discovered it We're standing there talking to this guy. We're trying to think of something. We didn't have our internet. We didn't have Wi-Fi. So I just kept saying, gosh, what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? He's let's see if Aaron can do it. Aaron, who's the wide receiver? Went crazy. And Tom Brady was really a big fan of his. Let him room with him for a while. Then he went down to Tampa.
Antonio Brown.
There you go.
Bing.
Wow. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Right.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right. So while we're at the party, we're trying to remember the guy's name. And he's like, oh, my God. We're both trying to check our phones. Can't do that. So I said, I got an idea. Just who do you think of everybody in the room, who do you think would know the answer? And at that point, you start to go, oh, okay. So he's looking around. I said, how about the guy with the black shirt and the black pants with the fancy sunglasses on? And he goes, no, the guy's not going to know. I said, how do you know? He goes, I just tell you he's not going to know. I said, okay, who do you think? So now you're just judging the person. Everybody you're being judged purely by whatever their physical characteristics are as to if they would know this trivia question or not. And it was fascinating. I said, how about that guy? No, that guy's not going to know. He chose this guy with a gray shirt and gray pants, older guy, gray hair, short gray hair. And he says, that guy's going to know. I said, how do you know? Because he looks athletic. He's about the right age. I bet he watches football. He looks like he's got some money. I'm going with him. So we bring him over. I said, I've got a question for you. I asked the question. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get the thing. And he goes, who are you going with? I said, I'm going to go with the great big fat guy over there because he looks like he played football in high school and then maybe a little bit of college and then really let himself go. I said, that guy's going to know. I walk over to him. He's like, I don't know. I don't watch football. I don't care about football. It's like, what? You're a big fat guy. How can you not know? And then some other guy just happened to know it. And then I realized, what a fun game. The problem is when you sort of spring that on somebody and they don't know the answer, then they get really defensive. Because the next question was, what are the three branches of the federal government? And when we went to ask this other guy, he's like, why are you asking me? I was like, it's just a fun game we're playing. Are you trying to embarrass me? Nope, just a fun game. We just thought, are you having fun at my expense? No, it's a fun game. You're missing the fun part because we're going to come up with other trivia questions as well. But we're just trying to figure out who would know and who wouldn't know. And that was a waste on that guy. But the other people enjoyed it. And it was sort of a fun, just sort of make stuff up, fun trivia question. All right?
And you can put money on it.
That's the best part if I carried cash because it is fascinating to think, okay, that guy will know because of some characteristics that I think they should probably know. Right? The first iPhone was released what year? Who will know, Aaron? Of everybody here, who's going to know the answer to that?
I think me.
No, you can't. You and I are playing together.
Okay. Joe.
Nate?
Joe. No, not
Joe?
Nate. Joe.
No, not Ian?
No, not Ian.
Joe, it's all on you. I'm going to choose Nate. Go ahead.
2006.
You say 2006? What do you say, Nate?
iPhone 1, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the first
iPhone.
Yes.
1999.
No. Oh, my gosh.
Was not the year.
See,
you didn't let me finish.
Okay.
1999 was not the year.
Right.
So 2006 was.
Oh, it's 2007. 2007.
Wrong.
Yeah, but so we were both wrong. So if we threw money down, we're going to let it continue to ride.
Okay.
All right, you want to do one more?
Sure.
All right, this is going to be really easy for you. 1988, Mystic Pizza launched the career of. Do you know the answer?
I don't.
Do you Nate will know or Wyatt will know or Joe will know?
I think Nate might know that one.
Okay, I'm going to go. Shoot, I was going to take Nate as well.
That's
okay.
fine. You're both going to win because the answer is Pamela Anderson.
Oh, my God.
Julia Roberts.
It is. It's Joe got it. Julia Roberts.
Really?
Why is it that, here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing about Nate. Why do we both think Nate has answers and he doesn't have any of them? But look at his physical characteristics. It's because Joe's got that sleepy face. Is that what it is?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, and Nate's always pumped up on something.
Everything.
Here's Nate.
Here I am, Everett to Marysville, 35 minutes, still heavy between Highway 2 and 529, but you start to slow back and still about the Boeing Freeway. Everett to Seattle, an hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour from Linwood. You've got three backups now. You're crowded from 41st to the Boeing Freeway, and then a little slowing still left in Linwood, but then bumper to bumper from 130th now in Northgate all the way into downtown Seattle. Eastbound 90, you're bumper to bumper from the across the lake over to Island Crest Way. Seattle to Bellevue is going to take you 20 minutes. That right lane gets closed closed the West Mercer Way all the way out to the East Channel Bridge. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. You're bumper to bumper from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Northbound 405 in the south end, scattered backups between South Center and the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue's at 25 minutes. And we're still dealing with this horrendous backup westbound 16 packed from I-5 all the way out to the Narrows Bridge, where road work has 2 right lanes blocked. This continues all the way through 10 p.m. Saturday. Also, your Jackson Avenue on-ramp to westbound 16 is blocked. This report brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package for healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s. Choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Locally fresh since 1909. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You know that feeling when your home finally feels organized? That's exactly what Closets by Design gave me. And let me tell you, it is a game changer and a marriage saver. If your closets are bursting at the seams, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. They don't design or use pre-made, predefined, standardized parts like many of their competitors, which can lead to designs that aren't truly maximizing your space. No, with Closets by Design, it's the highest grade products in the industry. Free in-home design consultation. Affordable luxury is the best way to put it. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. Locally owned, nationally trusted, you're getting the quality and the backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. September is a magical month for whale watching, according to the team at Puget Sound Express. This is the time of year when many whale watching cruises see a combination of Bigg's killer whales and humpback whales on the same trip. Last week, PSE Tours spotted 10 different orca families, and humpbacks are busy feeding in September and October before resuming their Pacific Ocean migrations. It's a terrific time to get on the water and see marine wildlife. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of beautiful Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Come celebrate Angel of the Winds Casino Resort's 21st anniversary this October. Turn up the fall with exciting special events, entertainment, and unforgettable experiences. October 1st through the 28th. Whether you're stopping by for a night out or planning a weekend escape, there's something for everyone. Feel the energy, enjoy the festivities, and be part of the party. Celebrating over 2 decades of memories at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. October 1st through the 28th. Only at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
One of the greatest bands in rock history, The Who, present The Song Is Over, the North American Farewell Tour. See Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, The Who, live in Seattle, performing at Climate Pledge Arena September 25th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The Who, for the very last time.
The song is over.
For more, visit thewho.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back, and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
At Olympic Hot Tub's Final Fair Savings Event, get a great deal on a saltwater hot tub and 5 years to pay for it interest-free. Enjoy the healing water of a hot spring spa from Olympic. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
All right. According to this guy, he saw a mountain lion. This is in Rochester, New York. They call it Rochester, New York. Upstate New York, the man says.
I heard the roar. I felt that roar. I knew to keep it pushing. I knew that. After I see the people run, I just see something big just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over here.
He's describing what the officials thinks is a mountain lion.
I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And they said, roar, and I just kept walking. I seen it, seen me, see it.
I seen it, see me, see it.
That's right.
I seen it, see me. Okay, got it.
So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out. It about like this big. Word. It was just walking, slithering. Like it was, I don't know, man. Gotta keep this bat right here. I'm gonna keep this bat right here, man, just in case.
It's an aluminum bat.
That's right.
It's an aluminum.
Just in case.
Protect us. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to us, nothing, okay? They ain't find it last night. It's still out here. It could be out here in one of these bushes or something. You know, them mountain lions, they be, wow, they be crawling and, you know, they serious. I don't play with lions. I don't play with tigers, bears, nothing with the wild. I don't play with those. I promise you. I don't even do roller coasters. I'm good.
Why did the person interview him ask him any other questions?
No, pretty much just took his eyewitness account.
But wouldn't you do a follow-up? I don't do lions, tigers, and bears. I don't even do roller coasters. Wouldn't that then beg the question, then what do you do?
I agree. She did sound like a little bit of a rookie in terms of the on-the-scene reporter.
Yeah, because this guy is...
He's gold mine.
He's gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. The report on the tiger...
Rochester police say...
Cougar, whatever.
The officers became aware of a video on social media that appears to show a wildcat, which some people claim is a mountain lion. RPD says it received numerous calls of reported sightings.
Okay, it's nowhere near us, so don't worry, everybody. Don't panic at all.
You got a few out there. Where you?
A lot of them. A lot of cougars out of there. I used to go over to Dougie's and sit there and have beers with him, and then he goes, "Okay, you gonna walk back?" I said, "Yeah." I had a gun with me, and he goes, "What's a gun for?" I said, "In case, there's the mountain cougar out here." He goes, "Let me tell you something. First of all, you're never going to see it. You're going to feel it, because you're not going to see it at night. It's going to get you from behind. So this idea that you're going to walk from my place to your place, and you're going to be okay with this thing, it's 150 pounds going 30 or 40 miles an hour. So you multiply it, you do the math, the thing hits you. It's like it's going to knock you down. You're never going to know what the hell hit you. And you might still be conscious as it bites into your throat. I was like, so what should I do? It's like, well, you got a gun. I don't know. Just don't fire it back towards us when you're walking back to your house. But I was terrified. I'd have a flashlight, and I'm walking from Dougie's over to mine. I'm like, oh, my God, I got to make it. Because there's all these trees. Because if it's anything, it's going to be up in the trees. It's going to come down and just wipe you out.
Maybe like a pot and a pan, you just kind of bang your way home.
I don't think scaring him's a thing.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, and then my friend Larry's like, chances of it getting you pretty slim. But this is one that was going around and grabbing everybody's dog off their porch. Would jump over fences and grab people's dogs like a German Shepherd and then jump back over again. For the heck, if it's practicing on a German Shepherd, have no trouble with me. So I was spinning around. I had my little gun out. I'm like spinning around, just shoot randomly up into the trees.
There you go.
There you go. Just lay down some lead.
Attaboy.
There we
James
go.
Bond.
Here's Nate, the big opponent traffic. Those Nate on.
All right, westbound 16 remains packed from I-5 to the Narrows Bridge for road work. Your Jackson Avenue on-ramp is also closed to westbound 16. Southbound 167 packed from 18 into Puyallup. And Linwood to Seattle, an hour and 5-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
KIRO FM and HD1.